Nabers sheds the red no contact jersey, and his head coach says he's trending. He's pretty safe to say he's trending in the direction of playing week 1. We knew this to be the case the entire offseason.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
As so many, I'm predicting, I'm an MD on Twitter, he's not playing till October. People told us that Nabers wasn't going to play week 1 or he wouldn't be healthy. He looks phenomenal. He's going like middle round 2, probably deserves to go at the 1-2 turn, 12, 13, 14, 15. So hats off to everybody that owns Nabers on this channel. And then we got Ashton Jeanty. Could he miss week 1? Could he miss a couple weeks? Could he play week 1? I'll break all that down and more. And we've, of course, got the Shedeur and Deshaun Watson debacle. Cleveland Browns are a disaster. I keep telling you to stay away from Browns players except for Fannin. They'll be thrown from behind, but this news isn't great for Fannin in week 1 because we want Shedeur, who's a proven quarterback, to connect with Fannin. We want that to happen, but it's a matter of time. A couple weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, a quarter before Shedeur gets the nod. And I have said this over and over that probably better that Shedeur doesn't have to look over his shoulder once he does go into the lineup. It could be a very good confidence boost, although I think he'd be able to handle it anyway. But what a debacle. I mean, the Browns are a disaster. If you think you got a good head coach, you don't. Cleveland Browns are in trouble. Cleveland Browns fans, I feel bad for you. You have a place to come and vent here because it's not your fault. Listen, look at me. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Goodwill Hunting. We truly are just feeling bad for Browns fans right now. Just a disaster. Penix Jr. gaining ground. Hendy left practice because he slipped, but it doesn't appear right now to be anything other than they're just looking to tape his ankle or potentially look at that. But more to come if there's anything that develops there. We're breaking all of that down, and more of the Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Quadruple J and Consultants.
Did you make a mess on the field? Don't fret. Call the cleanup crew. Call Quadruple J and Consultants.
Locations on Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Well, it's so fun to talk about Malik Nabers, when we are a group of people that have been just consuming the hell out of the ADP when it was great, when it was amazing. Now it's still lucrative, but it is not anything close to what it was. This might be our biggest win of the offseason. Our community cleaned up on the Nabers, the petrified Peters and scared Scotties, and I believe the Twitter MDs out there are just like scrambling right now to get shares of him and paying top dollar when we didn't have to. I would probably say that this is one of the bigger league winner plays of the offseason. And when people say things like, this is why you don't draft early, I keep seeing a bunch of nonsense out there. Look, no one's drafting their draft in motherfreaking January, okay? Number one. When you're doing a dynasty draft, I draft it as soon as possible. And for all you crying Calebs out there that are saying, oh, I should have waited, or this is why you wait. This is one of the most ridiculous lines in the world. You heard it on a podcast somewhere or on ESPN where they're like, this is why you wait to draft. No, you don't wait. You take advantage of everyone that is sitting on their hands that doesn't know anything about what's going on. There's more value to be had by drafting early than the odds that could strike anyone of the negatives of drafting late. It's just stop with the nonsense, okay? Just stop. You wouldn't have got Nabers in the freaking 4th round. Late 3rd, early 4. We got him consistently all over the place because we drafted early. So there's pros and cons to it. The cons are random freaks of occurrence that you can try and avoid to the best of your ability, but sometimes you can't. You can also cuff. You can also do all the different things. But all this, this is why you draft later. No, it's not. How many Mike Washington shares did you have standalone because we're cooking in and digging our heels in, grabbing them as standalone value, and that didn't even end up happening the way that people thought it was going to happen. But those are all advantages too. Kind of just laughable when people say things like, this is why I'm such a conservative, Caleb. This is why you don't draft early. Oh my God, it makes me feel good that I didn't. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll keep cleaning up on the neighbors and all that. You can keep, sitting in your hole just scared to come out until right before week 1. I'm going to hide in a cave. We'll get to these super chats in a second. $20 super chats will get immediate attention. Thank you for 20-man and New Age dropping gifted memberships over in the Rumble, which were well over 22K, 22,000 followers on Rumble. Appreciate you being along for the ride there. Neighbors trending in the direction of playing week 1. This is very, very, very good. Shed that no contact red jersey, which is a big step to almost like guarantee that unless a setback happens, like his head coach said, barring a setback, he's playing week 1. And not only that, he's going to play really well. And he's probably there might be like a pitch count conversation being thrown around. End of the day, what's it really going to mean? Is he going to set out a couple plays? Is he going to maybe sit out some irrelevant plays in the middle of the field when they're going to run the ball 3 times or throw a designed, short throw? Don't need him on the field anyway. Have him rest a couple of series once in a while. This is a downfield monster. Dart just laser locks on him. This is the guy that if you had to pick one player in the National Football League, this is consuming downfield, huge target volume, is this man right here. So sit him down for a series. I don't care. He's going to get probably as many looks as anybody in the league in week 1 in terms of downfield stuff. This is just crazy value that you guys got and we got all offseason. So congrats on that. Let's talk about this Shedeur Sanders and Watson debacle. It's just a nightmare over in Cleveland. So Watson gets the nod, didn't deserve it, didn't earn it. Everybody and their mother said that this guy had lost the job to this guy, Shedeur, who had earned the job. Shedeur was creeping up. Watson had a little bit of a lead walking into the last couple weeks ago, and Sanders just kind of slowly started to grab a hold of it. Then this guy opens his big mouth and talks to his fan base and says his fan base is disrespectful. Granted, they kind of were when he tore his Achilles. They cheered. Some people cheered. Not everybody cheered, but some people cheered. And he decided to lump the entire community and his entire fan base into that and say that the fan base is disrespectful, and it is what it is. And the whole fan base is erupting. And then you have Todd Monken, this I don't know, this horrible, probably I would say head coach for this particular situation. Good offensive coordinator. He unlocked Lamar Jackson, but not every offensive coordinator or offensive architect, as good as they may be, is designed to be a head coach. And I think Todd Monken potentially might end up going down as being one of the worst head coaches of the year, if not the last 5 years, because this man is choosing to make incompetent decisions. And it seems like it's a replication of what was going on with Stefanski in Cleveland. Stefanski and Monken, maybe the game is passed both of them by. And you could say, oh, Stefanski's a good coach. Stefanski's only as good as his offensive coordinator. It's a dying breed, a dinosaur of a head coach to be a non-play caller. And Stefanski is naturally supposed to be a play caller, but he's so bad at it that it's been ripped from him twice. In fact, in Cleveland, before he went to Atlanta, took Tommy Reese, the current offensive coordinator in Atlanta, was the then offensive coordinator for Stefanski, took him with him in Cleveland. Tommy Reese is the only thing keeping Stefanski looking like he knows anything about what he's doing. But this Stefanski character doesn't know how to call plays. He ripped his own play calling duties from himself and got his play calling duties ripped from him in Cleveland twice before getting hired as a head coach in Atlanta, which I'm so worried about Atlanta. We'll talk about Atlanta in a second with Penix Jr. But Stefanski to Monken. Monken is not a good head coach. Monken is a horrible decision maker. Monken's no different than Stefanski of botching one of the easiest quarterback decisions you could ever make. And you could say maybe it's coming from upstairs, then don't take the job if you can't make big boy decisions. because Watson should be released. They should have moved on from him a while ago. This is about potentially money because he's getting $40+ million to play football this year because he signed one of the worst contracts in NFL history where he got paid $47 million for 5 straight years, fully guaranteed. So is that why he's starting? Maybe. Shedeur Sanders earned the job. This man disrespected the entire community. Monken said his decision to speak out and make dumb decisions and dumb statements on to the press yesterday about the fan base had nothing to do with the decision of starting Shedeur Sanders or Watson. Well, it should have, because it's all linked together. His ability to get out of his own head, his ability to navigate, the crowd when he walks into the game and he's got to hear the boos. Everyone's going to boo the hell out of him. Like, this is setting your team up for failure. You don't understand how to run a team. And I need my Gunner glasses, by the way. Who's our Gunner player of the week? Stretching over from last season, who we haven't removed. He's still been on this board since the 2025 NFL season. I'll tell you, it's Kenneth Walker.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Get your blue light blocking Gunner glasses over at Gunner.com. This is a debacle. This is a debacle. Todd Monken doesn't know what he's doing. Todd Monken doesn't know what he's doing, and he decided to go with the quarterback that the fan base isn't going to even allow to stay in the lineup. He could go out and throw a touchdown. No one's going to care. He's going to get booed. He's going to get in his own head. And for you as a head coach, Todd Monken, to not understand that it's unfortunately written that Shedeur is a starter. To not know that that's coming downstream anyway. Like when a coach makes a stupid decision like this and you eventually see Shedeur come in week 2, 3, 4, 5, and we already knew that was supposed to happen, how dumb does the head coach look? Like, we all see it coming. We all know who should start, and he's going to be late to the party. This is an incompetent head coach. An incompetent. Todd Monken is an incompetent head coach. Matt Nagy might be a better offensive coordinator than Todd Monken is a head coach. Nathaniel Hackett might be a better play calling offensive coordinator over in Arizona than Todd Monken is a good decision maker. Todd Monken's not in his bag. Todd Monken is not understanding what time it is when it comes to this man walking out onto the field, insulting the entire fan base, and he thinks that won't have a factor or play into it at all. He's done. He's cooked. There's no chance. He had no chance anyway. He's horrible. But now he's got to be horrible with the fans hating him when he walks on the field. Tell me you see a coach in front of you, Todd Monken, that doesn't know what he's doing without telling me you see a coach in front of you that doesn't know what he's doing. Todd Monken is probably worse than Stefanski was. Stefanski botched the quarterback situation so badly where this man Shedeur didn't even take a single snap with the starting center until game day on the sideline. All week long, they didn't even prepare Shedeur to start. He still delivered. And for everyone that hates this kid Shedeur and they're rooting against him, you've got an agenda. You can admit it if you want. I'm not saying he'll be a superstar. For goodness sakes, the kid's been held back at every turn. I wouldn't be surprised if he busted. Why wouldn't he? He hasn't been given ample opportunity. It's not a fair situation. He got drafted in a place where they didn't even want him. Everybody passed on him, and then Cleveland takes Dillon Gabriel, then takes Shedeur after, putting Shedeur and themselves in the worst situation. This is the worst-run franchise in the National Football League, with the worst head coach and decision-maker in the National Football League. And you've got Shedeur Sanders put in a spot, and the team put in a spot. People said, oh, it was smart to take him. It wasn't smart. It was the dumbest decision in the world to take Shedeur after Dillon Gabriel, because the draft capital commands weight. And it commands decision-making. And when you draft Dillon Gabriel ahead of Shedeur, you're forced to look at that, and you just made a stupid decision. And this team has messed this up the entire way. Shedeur deserves to start. Fannin thrives under Shedeur, so we're waiting for that because Harold Fannin Jr. is a monster.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Fanning.
And anybody that thinks Shador isn't good, you don't know ball. I'm not saying he's elite. I'm not saying he's elite at all. I'm not saying he's going to be a top 5 to 10 quarterback. But if you think Shador isn't the best quarterback in this room, and if you think Shador isn't capable of lingering in the NFL as much as any of the quarterbacks that are in like the 15 to 20 range, you don't know ball. Or let's hope it's the later. Okay, maybe you do know ball, but you're just so biasly against Shador and you can't help yourself. That's the bottom line. I'm sorry, but that's the facts. This kid is proven to have the ability. He's just been held back the entire way. And if you start judging Shador Sanders' production and where he's at right now, when he hasn't even been set up to succeed, he's been held back every chance. You're not giving him a fair chance to earn your respect or your assessment. So there you have it on that note. And we'll see what happens and how long this situation ends up going the direction it's going. But Munkin is one of the worst, if not the worst, coaches in the National Football League. All right. Jeanty, for those that want to speak about this, there's not much that we have to go on, but I'll give you a recap of what the situation looks like. Ashton Jeanty is probably in I would say 50-50. My graphic is going nuts here. Ashton Jeanty's probably in a 50-50, just a ballpark, just arbitrary number that feels pretty accurate though. Chance of playing week 1. I know this isn't what people wanted to hear. The not long-term injury was definitely something that we were excited about, and this is where we're going to put a question mark here. With that week 1 was in play for Nabers, the week 1 is a question mark for Jeanty. And I know that the not long-term determination that we got as far as the ankle injury, which was thought to be a knee because people don't know how to report or don't know injuries at all, and they're out there playing Mickey Mouse with injury news and stuff, which we're beholden to sometimes, and people reporting as a knee injury. No one even knows what they're talking about. The most uneducated people assessing the situation and then funneling it out as news is just asinine. All the Mickey Mouse news aggregates that are in their mom's basement waiting for a rack of meatloaf while their Game Boy's charging and creating news, and then people reposting it, and then it just goes around news wires. But Jeanty has a 50-50, I would say, chance of playing week 1. That's better than the expectation that he was out for the year off of the bogus knee injury news report. Now, I would say if you have Mike Washington like you should, 80% of you are fine. He's certainly going to be a league winner if something goes awry later, or if this thing becomes a bigger problem, or he goes out and re-aggravates it, misses 4 to 6 weeks or something like that. So they got to make sure they're not rushing Jeanty. This becomes an ankle issue that lingers for the entire season because they rush him back. Now, there's a chance, because there's not a lot being released on it. There's just a lot of Schefter and Rappaport talking about it. There's a chance that this ankle injury is a little bit worse than it's being let on, or a little bit less worse than it's being let on. We don't really have that information. We're definitely assuming it's some sort of near mid to high ankle sprain. How much is a big thing to gather the information about, because when people hear a high ankle sprain, they start throwing around, they start trying to play doctor. And they say, that's a 6 week, no, you don't know what it is. A low ankle sprain severe is worse than a high ankle sprain not severe. Like, let's stop acting like that this is one exact time frame, no matter what the injury is, just because you heard a buzzword on some sort of podcast where they said high ankle sprains are blah, blah, blah. It totally is determined by the severity of the high ankle sprain, the mid ankle sprain, the low ankle sprain. Low ankle sprain can tear ligaments. There's a lot of low ankle sprains that are worse than high ankle sprains. But if it is a 1 or 2 grade, if it's 2 grade, he's out of wild. If it's a 1 grade, he could definitely play week 1. It's just a matter of how does he come out. If he comes out unaffected, then he could definitely heal that next week, and then go play again. And then if he comes out unaffected, then he heals that entire week, rests a lot, and then the 3rd or 4th week, he's kind of near 100%. So it does kind of depend on how he just escapes week 1, week 2, if he does play on it. But right now, expect Mike Washington to have a 50-50 chance of playing week 1 in place of Jeanty. 80% of you that listened are fine, because Mike Washington will probably have 90, 80 total yards and a strong shot at a touchdown. This is going to be a very good running back for you. A near high-end running back 2, potentially, or at least a mid-range running back 2. Jeanty would have probably been a low-end running back 1 or high-end running back 1, of course, potentially. So this is a little bit of a hit to your lineup, but not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. And by the way, if you can buy low on Jeanty, it goes without saying that he's still one of the better buy lows from people freaking out about maybe he's missing a couple weeks. So there's still a buy low opportunity on Jeanty, so smash the hell out of that. Hit that thumb up button on the way in the door. We have about 500 in the building on YouTube. We've got the usual suspects over on the Rumble machine. We're on Twitter as well right now with, I assume, a couple hundred people. Sometimes that ranges from like a couple hundred to 1,000. So if you're watching on Twitter, please come over and subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Fantasy Football Show on YouTube. We need you. We would love to have you. We're live when big news breaks. We're live at 8 p.m. Eastern Monday through Friday, and we're live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. I don't think I've missed a midnight stream in like 6 straight months. That's every day, midnight, we're live doing the Graveyard Show. We'll have more on this situation, but of course, as we preached all offseason long, one of the, if not top 3 handcuffs in the league, Jeanty and Washington, Hampton, Mitchell, Harvey, Coleman, and Kyron Corum, and then the San Francisco running backs, Emmett Johnson. And there's some other backs here that are very, very important, but they're not quite as important. Obviously, Rodriguez, I think LaQuint Allen could even be the backup eventually. Bigsby's really nice, but has standalone value as well. There's the cuff players down below. No, Hendy's not a cuff. People ask me that question like once or twice a day somewhere in a comment. Hendy's not a cuff. Hendy gets drafted before Stevenson. So why would he be on here as a cuff? Let's get to the rest of the news, and then we'll hit the super chats. Trey Benson got released by the Cardinals, which is crazy that they released a 3rd round pick instead, and keep Connor, who's not even like healthy to play yet or healthy enough to be traded or anything like that. Instead of trading Benson, they could have tried. Maybe they could get a really, really late pick. Maybe they tried it. Nobody wanted him. Benson, who got injured last year, was a very, very high prospect. We liked him a lot on his channel, full transparency, but didn't stay healthy. His attitude also, to be honest with you, listening to him, I'm here in Arizona. Definitely a lot of interviews and reports over the last like 6 months where you can watch this guy talking about the injury, talking about getting back on the field. His drive and determination feels a little bit sketchy to me. And I just feel like this isn't a guy that says, I'm a top 5 running back in this league. I need to get back into it. He's kind of just meandering on through his career. And so for that makes me feel like finding a home, climbing up the ranks is going to be a little harder for him. I don't think it's impossible if, let's say, he lands in a spot like, let's say, it's a situation similar to yesterday, but actually goes the distance in terms of being horrible. Maybe Scattaboo suffers some sort of setback. They bring him over in New York. He's got a shot. I like him a lot, but it's just his skill set's amazing. But his drive, his determination, and so far his reliability is in question. But we do have to monitor like where he goes. But there's a chance that we never see Trey Benson ever again rise to any sort of relevance. Trey Henderson was back at practice looking really good. And boy, when he runs, he's so fluid and smooth. His cutting, his speed, his acceleration, his quickness. It's Jahmyr Gibbs in H-hand acceleration. It's just in its speed. It's just so fun to watch him just explode off of one leg, cut and go, just hit the hole or pop things to the outside. Gonna have a big year. He did slip, and then he didn't finish practice. The trainers were looking at his leg. There's some taping going on. Usually when a player's getting taping and they're going around that route, it's not something that like is going to end up being, you never know. They could find something later and do imaging just to be safe and find something. But for the most part, you start taping up a leg, you've already determined that it's not an issue. You're just trying to make it more supportive. Let's see how it is tomorrow. That's kind of the way this looks. I'm not too worried about this. It does potentially put if this gets spotlighted and spread around and people get all panicked about it, it could eventually lower his ADP into an even nicer range. Maybe goes to 6.1 and we just scoop that up. He's never meant to be a guy you draft and you just plug straight in to even your flex spot this year, because you might have Jonathan Brooks who you could start. You might have a Harvey that you could put in, and Hendy will eventually be top 10 running back material in my mind, but you always have to draft him right now because he's not sitting in the driver's seat. You need to draft him right now as a very, very fun experiment player that's going to explode and become eventually the top 10 running back that we know he can become. We just don't know when. So for him to have any sort of slip that causes maybe some people to say maybe he's not going to be getting as many carries in week 1 because he won't be as prepared this week and next week. And then all of a sudden, you have Stevenson just getting full. Stevenson gets injured. Stevenson fumbles. Stevenson's older. That opportunity will open up eventually. It's inevitable to happen. So if this happens, this will be amazing. Henderson, Sketchers, I just told you what the injury is. It's nothing. I mean, right now we don't know what it is, but I just explained it. So we're certainly going to have to wait and see on this situation, and we'll go from there. But right now, there's no indication that there's any sort of major injury. It's just taping up. He slipped, but hopefully the ADP continues to fall. You don't have to apologize. I'm just saying rewind if you want to hear it. All right, let's jump straight into the next player and then straight over to the Super Chats. Penix Jr. is inching closer and closer to maybe doing what Shedeur should have done in Cleveland. But let me remind you, Cleveland and Atlanta kind of parallel in the way they make decisions sometimes. Wouldn't shock me if Penix Jr. earns this job just like Shedeur did, and they go ahead and start Tua Tagovailoa. Because guess what? Stefanski's making that decision. The guy that just screwed up over in Cleveland the year prior, not giving Shedeur his chance. Stefanski seems to hate Penix Jr. in some ways like he hated Shedeur Sanders. It seems. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe that is changing right now because Penix is looking better in practice. Tua looks awful. Tua looks confused. Tua looks like Russell Wilson going to Denver or Russell Wilson going to Pittsburgh. That's what Tua feels like. It doesn't feel like it's going to be good. And this situation's concerning. At least we know that Penix Jr. can deliver the football to London. At least we know Penix Jr. can make an efficient offense enough to get Bijan on his horse and feed him, and he's comfortable checking down to him. So we kind of know what we're dealing with. And while people think Tua Tagovailoa is the check down king, the check down merchant, you only know that to be the case with Mike McDaniel. So let's stop acting like Tua is some gold mine of checking down the football when all of those things were designed and architected by Mike McDaniel, not Tua. Tua is not some master. I drop back and I know how to read everything and I'm going to check down to Achane. Mike McDaniel architects everything. You don't know what you're talking about if you think Tua Tagovailoa is the reason Achane got all of those checkdowns. And people that say Willis won't check down to him, you don't know what Willis is. Willis is a potential top 12 quarterback in the making, and Willis has a lot of upside. So Penix Jr. inching closer to getting the nod, but will he actually get it? Or will Stefanski, as bad of a head coach as he is, just like Todd Monken, make a horrible decision that's not in the best interest of the team, making a decision that we all know eventually is going to be the wrong decision, and he's going to do exactly what we would do now later because Stefanski doesn't know what he's doing. This is not a situation I like. This is not a situation I like at all. And we're just going to have to see. Yes, Strand is even maybe a potential play at some point. So we'll talk about that later. But Penix Jr., gaining some ground. I don't know if it's even worth mentioning because I think maybe Stefanski screws it all up. We got super chats to get to. We have phone calls eventually to be had. The phone lines are not open yet. Let me just roll through these super chats. PPR rank Swift, Tootin, Scat, Bucky, Monty, Judkins. I'm going to go Tootin. I'm going to go Bucky. And then I'm going to probably go Swift early on, but Scat overall. Judkins probably tied with Swift overall. Judkins last because of the situation, though, overall. But I think Swift will be, my point is Swift will be kind of in that 2-3 territory because Monangai being out, he's going to be fed, but does he have injury risk? The bottom line is his Tootin tier break for me. Scat after that per start, but Scat is a big injury risk. So I'm going to say Tootin by a mile over all those guys. Have the 6th pick in a 10-man draft. Who do I take? Best pick in fantasy at that particular spot would be JSN or JT. I'm not even afraid to go Achane at that pick, to be honest with you. Hendy, Dowdle, Debo, too much for CMC this year. No, it's not. I think you could resell CMC for a lot higher than that because Hendy's not even starting right now, like I said. So I would take CMC probably. I'm a big Hendy guy if that's redraft. And then I try and flip it, for even more because I'm a businessman when it comes to trades and running my fantasy football team, not a nostalgic Ned. Jeanty through the second. I'm drafting some great teams. Jeanty's a fantastic second-round pick right now. And the later you get him, obviously, the better. And if people are going to freak out and let him fall to 3.1, boy, I can't wait to build the only team, the first team, maybe 2 teams, maybe 10 teams, who knows, where I get Gibbs and Jeanty at the 1 slot. If that happens, I will be ear to ear, and that team I'll be tagging, monitoring all year long. Need help in a 10-man keeper. Superflex likely will be 6 to 10 pick. I get Gibbs in the 4. Need 1. Josh in 1. Bowers in 5. K9 in 6. Or Ibuka in 11. Warren in 14. Those are nice. Bowers in 5 is great. Josh in 1. If it's Superflex, you're probably going to have to go Josh Allen. You can draft Bowers back, I imagine round 3. He goes in round 2 in a non-Superflex, so I do imagine you might be able to get him at the top of 3. And I love him at 5, but the difference in having Josh Allen with Gibbs, it's almost game over, Frost. You got to take that advantage, in my opinion, even though there's some great keeper values there. I guess the only thing I would say this is if you throw him back and you get your first rounder back, what you're picking at 6, what QB would you have? Ross, can you tell me what QB you would have? Then if so, I'd probably say Bowers and that quarterback. If the quarterbacks being kept are not what we think, or if you tell me who you're going to get, then I'll tell you. Like if you could get Burrow and Bowers, I take Burrow and Bowers over Josh Allen. So then I keep Bowers and then I draft Burrow in round 1. So I kind of need that information from you. But if all the quarterbacks are kept, it's kind of a different ballgame. Redraft 10 pick keeper Rashee Rice in 8 or Walker in 4. I'd probably go Walker in 4, even though there's some great value there. I get it, but there's also great value in 8 that you could kind of, apples to apples compare the 2 for 2. What would be better? And I would probably just say that I'm thinking you're going to end up with a better team going Walker, and those running backs will get ripped off the board. So appreciate your super chat. Joey, Smitty, good to be back. What moves to make? 12-man, Lamar, Achane, Javonte, London, J-Mo, Williams, Kittle, Odunze. Love the team. Odunze, Javonte for one better player. That's the easy call. Throw in Godwin. Throw in Pollard. Keep Harvey. Don't trade London, Achane, or Lamar. You could trade potentially Odunze and London together on a team that has like a Pickens and they don't have any other players, or maybe JSN. JSN, go to the JSN owner, see if they'll want Odunze in London, Odunze, Kittle in London, Godwin, Odunze, London for one player. If maybe they went hero or they went super robust RB and they don't have good wide receivers and you can give them 2. Other than that, I'm using Javonte with the potential Godwin and Odunze for one running back, and just going shopping, from like Jeremiah Love and above, just to get a Chase Brown, to get someone like that. Keeper League, PPR, Henry, thank you for the super chat. Henry, Tet, or Ibuka. I think Henry is in a dynasty league, it would be bad. In a keeper league, you're gonna have other keeper options, so you don't have to think too much about every pick has to be long term. I think Ibuka is probably the best bet in the keeper format, but Henry is nice to win now if you think you're gonna have other keeper options. Like sometimes people have like 4 keeper options that I don't even know about, and so you're not gonna even necessarily need Ibuka because you got such a stacked team. So I'd probably say Henry if you have other amazing keeper options, Ibuka if you don't. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate you. What teams you pursue, Joe Milton? What team should? I think any team that needs a quarterback right now should be pursuing him, and every team that needs a quarterback should be pursuing him. I think he's fantastic. I think Joe Milton. But the thing is, I don't think the Cowboys would trade him because I don't think people would give up enough to go get him. I think the same thing with Milroe. So I don't know. I mean, if you look at the teams around the NFL that probably need a quarterback right now the most, you'd probably say, like Cleveland won't do it. They got too many quarterback problems. They just won't even attack it. I think Willis is the real deal. I think the Jets should consider it. I think that you look at a team like the Falcons, they should consider it. Those would be 2 teams that I would personally love to see a Milroe or Milton land on. What's up, Smitty? 10 team, Allen, Dart, Bijan, Chase Brown, Swift, Marks, Coleman, Waddle, DK, McBride, thoughts. Love the team. I'm moving Swift on the high right now. You could also wait a week or 2. He'll still play very well. Swift and Waddle for one monster. JSN, Pickens, go high. Jeremiah Love and something you could do a 2 for 2. I'm definitely moving that. Stribling and Swift for a Jeremiah Love if you wanted to just go after Jeremiah Love. Love that option. Love and Neighbors to the outer reaches of space. What a run we are on, says Chuck Nasty. Neighbors and Love are fantastic. And I love Jeremiah Love right now. People are so scared. Scared Scotty's everywhere, like running from Jeremiah Love. I love these ridiculous Rogers that don't even know ball say things like on Pat McAfee and ESPN, like, he's not going to be an every down back. Jeremiah Love is the next Bijan. Like, whoever that was, I don't even know who that was on McAfee. It said, yeah, he's not a feature. He's a feature back, not an every down back. First of all, I don't know about you, but I've been doing this 25 plus years professionally. And I use the word feature back when I use the word every down back. I mean, they're kind of used one and the same to me, because a feature back is featured all the time. Like, a feature back, every down back, I don't think he even knows his verbiage. But second of all, anybody insinuating, which he was, this guy, I don't even remember who it was insinuating that the Arizona Cardinals would draft a guy 3rd overall, pay him $50 million guaranteed, give him 14 touches, which was irresponsible, in a preseason game, and then speak as if I know football and say, he's not going to be an every down back. Like, that guy should have been fired on the spot. Wherever he's at, he should be fired on the spot. That's one of the dumbest things a person could say. Rank redraft Neighbors or AJB or Pickens. I'm going to say AJB, Pickens, then Neighbors in that order. But I could mix up Pickens and AJB, to be honest with you. They're very, very, very close. Thank you for the super chat, young man. And then we got New Age Outlaw with a $20 hauler over on the Rumble machine. My boy New Age dropping the wattage. New Age, thank you. And thank you, 420 Man, and New Age for gifted memberships as well. New Age Outlaws super chat is as follows. New Age, thank you again very much. Let me drop that on screen for you all to read right here. And it goes a little something like this right here. He says, how will Booty signing affect, it wasn't a signing, it was a trade, affect the Dell and Noel value in your opinion? Yeah, that's another one that we need to speak on. Let me see if I can find that graphic real quickly. I have it just so I can put it up on screen. Let's see here if I can grab it real quickly and screen grab this bad boy. But this trade was an interesting one. We haven't talked about it yet. I hit all the other news, so I apologize. It's a good one to bring up. The Patriots are sending Kayshon Boutte to the Texans in exchange for safety Jalen Reed. Let me grab this screenshot here. And I think it's an interesting trade for sure. It probably tells you how much this team is impacted right now in practice around losing Jaden Higgins, who is going to be a big part of this team. And I've told you before how much I'm fearful that the Texans will struggle this year more than people think in terms of getting Monty where they think Monty needs to be. This offensive line was a disaster last year. And poor Woody Marks. Woody Marks looks pretty good right now, though. I'm really excited about him. But from a late, grab him at the end of the draft because everyone's thinking Monty perspective. But I still don't love the situation. And then you have a wide receiver go down that you have your quarterback completely relying upon. The whole offense is being structured around getting Jaden Higgins more and more involved, and he's a really good player. So him going down was devastating. And I think that Noel probably isn't stepping up the way that they want. And they're like, we need to get another body in here. We need a guy that can be explosive down the field and stretch the field. And so, I don't think it affects too much because I don't think he just walks in and takes over or anything crazy in that number 2 role. Tank Dell is really, the rapport between Tank Dell and Stroud is unmatched. Like, they're best friends practically. Really, they are. So I think Tank Dell's got a better shot, but maybe there's something to this that we don't know about Tank Dell being completely ready either, or if there's a setback. So it does make you wonder, but I don't think we have anything really to go on. It's a great question, but I'm not like picking up Booty in any leagues, to be honest with you. I don't really want much to do with it. And that kind of tells you how much I think it won't really impact anything. It'll be decent for the team, but I don't think it impacts anything. All right. I think I got all the super chats caught up, at least at this moment in time. The phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
We will discuss these topics and more. Neighbors, Jeanty, Shedeur, Watson, the Browns, the Falcons. any of those topics or more, ask away. Purple John, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, thanks for the phone call. I just wanted to ask about Jack Strange. I think that's his name, the Atlanta quarterback. Like, could you give me a percentage in terms of what, like, you think he's going to start? What percentage chance he has of actually being named the quarterback one? He's a Division II quarterback. For those of you who don't know, he looks like Josh Allen, massive arm. Haven't seen the ball come off his arm.
You mean Strand? You called him Strange? You mean Strand?
Yeah, Jack Strand. Yeah, Strand. I think.
Yeah.
Beast.
Yeah, I like him. I think that there's a chance he, like, if you say like diamond in the rough, like, what are the odds? The odds are there where he could be the diamond in the rough, but I don't know. Does the staff even know what they're doing to even see it? Who knows? It'd have to be like injury to open it up the door for him. But if injury does open up the door, I'm kind of excited about it. So deeper dynasty leagues, I think Superflex, you could pick him up. And
the next question would be Mendoza. If you're getting a little worried about him, would you mind shipping him off for Travion Henderson? And
let me hold on. Mute yourself. We'll be right with you. Travion Henderson and what? What was it? Mendoza for Travion Henderson and who?
And early to mid 28 first.
I mean, I don't mind that value, but did you just say if you're worried about Mendoza, if you're getting worried about Mendoza, is that what you just said? Why would you be worried? Why would you be worried? What has caused you? You say that like something happened.
I think there's better quarterbacks.
No, but you said it though, like something. No, but something triggered it because you go, if you're starting to get worried about Mendoza.
Well, yeah,
what? Because he threw an interception.
For Cousins, they look a little better.
Come on,
they're just
John.
Progressive.
Come on, John.
This
is for your own good.
Finish him.
No, don't send that.
Call terminated.
It's for your own good. No, you call in and say, if we're starting to get worried about Mendoza, like there's something actually going on? No, I'm sorry. Caller, just mute yourself. I'll be right with you, but please hit mute. To answer your question, though, I do kind of like the Hendy and first round side. If you don't need Mendoza, he's not your like second quarterback, but Mendoza's a baller, bro. Mendoza's going to be fantastic. For you to be scared Scotty, Purple John, about an interception in the preseason, I don't know what to tell you, but like that's crazy. Okay, let me go over to this caller right here. We've got Elvis, you're live. Or who is this?
Yeah.
What's up? Oh, EA Goats. What's up, my boy?
I got a keeper league, and just need your advice on who to keep. I got the first overall pick. I've got JT in the second, Hampton in the third, Abuka in the sixth, Rice on the eighth.
Okay, say it one more time, bro.
The keepers.
Yeah, one more time.
JT in the second round, Hampton in the third round, Abuka in the sixth round, Rice in the eighth round. I have the first overall pick, 12-man league.
So you have a late second, top of three. So you're surrendering a 3.1. You're surrendering a 2.12 if you do that. Rice is awesome at 8. Can I ask you a question? If you were to take the Rice in 8, who's going to be available at the 2.12 for you with your second round pick?
Hard to say. Look, what I would want to do is draft JT in first overall, and then try to get Nabers in that second pick.
Okay.
But I think somebody might take Nabers early in the keeper.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, these are things where you look at it and you're like, man, 8 Rice,
AJB first overall and keep JT in the second, or keep
Rice and AJB is probably or not AJB in the first overall pick. No.
Well, maybe Amon-Ra's available. I don't know.
I mean, I like AJB a lot, but is that many keepers going to be taken to where you're?
Well, all 12 keep one person. And,
yeah, but are they all keeping their the first round players? Because sometimes that's not the right.
No, some people pick, some got drafted Pickens in the 5th round last year.
Okay, so tell me the top. So you're drafting 1 overall. Who are the likely top 5 overall players that you could choose from that 1 pick?
Amon-Ra, JJ.
Okay.
A-Chain. I thought about A-Chain.
There you go. Yeah, A-Chain. So I probably go A-Chain.
Saquon.
And if you think you're getting Nabers in 2 in that JT spot, then I'm not keeping JT. I'm taking Nabers. If you think you're going to get anybody like that, like Pickens, Nabers, Jeremiah Love, like something like that at that.
I just don't know. Don't know.
Okay, well, this is something you're going to have to. This is something you're going to have to figure out. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you can get that kind of caliber player with the 2nd round pick, I don't keep JT. So I draft HN 1. You definitely don't want to keep somebody at 1 if anybody's listening in this situation, because you got the 1 pick. So you want to hold that pick to draft a player. But HN, and then I probably take that if you believe you can get a caliber Nabers player. I let JT go, and then I probably say, man, Rice or Hampton's so tough.
Rice because I'm picking him up. He's not even on the starting roster by the time I pick him up.
What do you mean?
Like, because it's the 8th pick, so usually, because there's a kicker and defense, all 7 players have already been picked. So it's like he's super cheap.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant he'd be off the team. Okay. He could.
No.
There's a chance.
In the 6th round is a good value too.
It's good, but with the toe injury, he's kind of going like in 4 now. So it's not that it's not good value. This one's tough because it's like in round 8. So you're basically looking at like this: Achan, JT, and then an 8th round player versus Achan, Nabers, and Rice. So you've got to make the call. If you believe you're getting a Nabers caliber player in this 2nd round pick, then you've got to let JT go. But I would take Achan at the 1 overall, easy. And if it's AJB, that's great.
Achan and JT.
You could, but then you don't have Rice. If you're telling me you get Nabers, that's what you just said. Nabers could fall. If you get a Nabers instead of JT, you get Rice and Nabers. Would you take Rice and Nabers over JT in an 8th round pick?
Fair point.
All right. Appreciate you, my boy.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, later. 949, you were live.
Hey, Smitty. I just drafted Luther Burden yesterday out of my draft. What do you think about him? Because I wasn't sure about him, but he fell. So I just want your thoughts on him, because I haven't seen a lot of people talking about him.
What pick? What exact pick?
Early 7th round, so 74.
Great value. Yeah, he could be I think he's definitely going to flirt with wide receiver 1 numbers on and off all year. I don't know where exactly finishes. He could finish 8. He could finish 14. 100%. Love that pick, bro. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, unless you told me there was another option that I hear and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. But yeah, you gotta love that value, bro. He's going in like the 4th round,
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. I love it. Good trade value too. People are going to get excited about him. But yeah, he's got wide receiver 1 upside.
Okay. Thanks, me.
All right, later, bro. Caller, you are live. What is your name and where are you calling from? Okay. This one here, best value next. Best value. Mute yourself. I'll be right with you. Best value for next pick, running back 3 or wide receiver 4. Options are Stribling. Tate's great. I think Stribling and Tate are pretty tough. Marvin Harrison, Downs, those are really good. I think Stribling is really nice, but I like him a little bit later than this if you can. If you can't, you can't. But I'd probably say this might be a bold take, but I think Downs is the highest risk, highest reward player here. MHJ, something in between. Carnell Tate, probably the safest, but there's maybe some ceiling limitations and a rookie wall that he could hit. Stribling is kind of like that. Just you want him a round later. It could be better than all of them, but you just want him like a round or so later. That's just a little early for Stribling, but I like Stribling a lot. I still would definitely try and grab him. And then running back here, probably going with Gainwell. Just feels like the most volume, but I would say I don't know, Downs or MHJ or Tate probably, and I'd probably go in that order. I like Downs a lot. He's really intriguing. Alec Pierce is not healthy, so he's the number one there, after Warren probably, but definitely love that. I could get behind the MHJ side. Tate's really, really good though. Tate would be just maybe the combination of you're not expecting the world all year, but you're getting a lot of volume. I probably lean toward Downs, but that's me. Keep Egbuka 7th round or Hampton 3rd round. Man, PPR. Keep Egbuka 7th. I'd take probably. It depends. Same question that I asked that guy. Who you get? Like, where's your pick? If you think you're going to get a Jeremiah Love caliber player, Buka and Jeremiah Love crush Hampton. If you're getting both of them. So you got to kind of answer that question for yourself. Like, if you get a player at that caliber, then you're wanting to keep the pick to add it to Egbuka. If the players are ripped off the board and then there's no value, then Hampton becomes the pick. What's up, Smitty? All is well. Great to be back in action. Please rank 12-man team. Stafford, Jamar, AJB, Jeremiah Love, Bucky, Price, likely bench, Shuck, Parker, Bigsby, Stribling, Strange. Like the team a lot. Probably looking, if I had to rank it, I guess I would say it feels like a problem. Man, AJ Brown and Jamar is disgusting. Jeremiah Love, Bucky. I think it's like a 8.0. Like, you have a chance. I could look at this and say you could win your league. But to be one of those like top 3 teams without even looking at the rosters and saying, I know this is a top 3 team for sure. Maybe you could require a move, or even if a move isn't needed to be made. And I don't know that you have players like Parker Washington and Price, Parker Washington and Bucky for one stronger running back, Chase Brownish area is the move. If you can't pull it off because they don't have the value yet, just wait, because week 1, week 2, week 3 will be kind to you and those values. But you could have the needing something to get you above, to an 8.5 out of 10 or something like that. In my mind, it might be on the roster. It's Love, it's Bucky, it's Price, probably all 3. Parker Washington. I like Parker Washington a lot to get into the lineup somehow too. If you're able to consolidate like Price and Bucky, or to go get, or even like Bucky and Love to go get one like elite running back, and then pull Parker Washington up into the lineup somehow or whatever. But you might get that pop from the players you have. Like, you have a good enough team that you don't necessarily have to make a trade. Let me go to this caller real quick. Caller, you're live. What is your name? Where are you calling from? 319?
Holden from Iowa.
What's up, my guy? What can I do for you? Probably can't do a full marker board. I got to keep things moving, but hit me with your question.
I also have like a keeper question as well. I can get 3 of these guys, and I just don't know what to do. So like I got Chase Brown the 12th, and then like Rice in the 6th, Nabers in the 5th round, and then like P-Wash was a waiver ad, so he's free, like a last round pick.
Nabers 5. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Why
P-Wash was a waiver.
I mean, why are we even debating this? Chase Brown at 12 is like, I don't think you can. That's undefeated. Like, how are you going to get something better than that? He's like a top 12 to 15 guy. Like, that's no dilemma. I love Nabers in 5. I mean, these are all great things, but Chase 12.
I was looking at like some of these, like, I don't know, like value of like their draft pick. Like, there's like P-Wash is a free waiver ad. Like, he would be worth like a last round pick.
But
like,
what? Okay, so read them off again real quickly. Your top 4 options.
Top 4?
Yeah.
Okay, Chase Brown the 12th. Rice in the 6th. Nabers in the 5th. And then you'd probably put Buka above P-Wash, so Buka in the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't even close, bro. Chase Brown in 12. Like, Chase Brown is maybe the highest drafted player. I mean, I don't understand. I'm confused.
Well, I can pick 3. I'm picking 3. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. And also for context, it's a 3 wide receiver league. That's kind of where I'm at too.
Okay. So Nabers in 5, Chase Brown in 12, and probably what were you leaning on the next one between which 2?
I don't know, because like P-Wash is like a waiver ad, so he's like a last round pick, and then like Buka's the 7th, and then like I don't know, like I'm just kind of between value or player.
What was the other one?
Buka?
No. Buka and P-Wash, you already said. Who was the other one besides Chase Brown and Nabers?
Rice in the 6th.
Rice 6, okay. Yeah, P. Wash, Chase Brown, Neighbors, final answer. Yeah, that's
Right.
easy.
Love it.
Those are great keepers, bro. All right, later. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Those are great. I thought he was just choosing between one. I'm like, what are we doing? Not to mention, like, Chase Brown doesn't even need to be in that conversation. You can just keep two. But if you want to kind of boast about it too, that's good. And it does give me a sense of like what your roster looks like too to keep Chase. I know you already have an RB, like, so no, it's fine to mention it, but that one's easy. Best value for next pick, running back 3. I did that one already. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. And I don't know if Morg is out here. Morg, we keep trying to find you. You dropped a $20 super chat, Morg, and then you dipped out, and I didn't get a chance to help you. So if Morg, you're here, please get my attention, and we'll attack your question again. 12-team Dart, Willis, Achane, Love, Price, Tootin, Lave, Evans, Okonkwo, Bench, Gadsden, Ferguson, Tyson. I like Dart and Willis is nice. Achane and Love's great. Price, Tootin, great. Lave, Evans. I like it. I guess your ultimate goal is going to be what, right? To get that wide receiver 1 upgraded maybe, or to get an additional one. So I definitely Evans in a maybe a Evans and Price, or I would say a Lave, and Price, but you might have to wait for Price. Olave and Evans together for one huge JSN monster, or a wide receiver like Pickens. Sometimes teams that build with a Pickens or a JSN don't have any second, third receiver options because they went heavy RB, so you can kind of take advantage of that. I don't know that there's much else to move here. You could move a Okonkwo or a Gaston once they gain value or whatever, but Tyson's kind of Tate and Tyson are kind of a nice throw-in, so you could go Tate and Tyson. Maybe. Why don't you try that? Why don't you go Tate and Tyson, either one thrown in with Evans or Olave, just to upgrade slightly on that wide receiver. But other than that, I mean, you're like one small move away from being like in the 8 range for me, just because I want to see a little bit more firepower there. Or it could just be that Mike Evans balls out, and then all of a sudden you're right where you need to be. That could be your fix. Superflex League QBs are Caleb May. Gino got offered Jordan Love and Parker Washington for Caleb. Chat, vote on this one. My wide receivers are Neighbors, Wilson, Debo, Stribling. I like what Parker Washington does for you, but Stribling might be good enough. And Caleb probably does outscore Love. But then again, like Love and Caleb, there's a world where fantasy-wise, they could be similar at times. I mean, Caleb's not a lock to be like a top 5 QB. He's got top 5 QB upside. Anybody does. Goff had top 5 to 6, 7 QB upside with Ben Johnson. So Caleb's certainly going to have that at times. Probably say that Parker Washington value is really nice. I think I probably do it. I try and move Love, though. I don't like Love. I also don't love Caleb as my starting quarterback either, despite everybody, anointing him the savior of the world. So I think I'd take the Parker Washington value. But chat, vote on that one. It's certainly not. It's a little bit more risky at Superflex quarterback 1 for you, though. I'd try and move Love. I'd try and actively trade into Mahomes or get into a different quarterback using Love, though. I would not stop. Olave or Neighbors if you need a wide receiver. Neighbors by a country mile, Doom. By a country. Doomsday Zach, why? This is why we call him Doomsday Zach. It's like he's very pessimistic. I like Olave, bro, but Olave's a 3rd rounder. Neighbors is arguably a top 12 to 15 overall player. And, you see Neighbors all over everything that I do, everything I talk about. So you know the answer to that. This one here, let me throw these 2 super chats here, and then we got a $20 super chat from my boy Craig coming in strong with the 20 wad. Craig, you're the man, the myth, the legend. Do it live.
Alert. Super chat alert.
All right. Craig says, yo, Smitty, 12-team.5. Would you trade Hall and Puka for JSN and Walker? Hall and Puka. I love these trade questions. The lineup ones are great. I don't mind answering them, but I love the trade questions more. Would you trade Hall and Puka for JSN and Walker? Yes. Yeah, if I like winning, I'm taking that JSN and Walker side.
You've just been
Look,
Smitty.
Puka and JSN are you could almost wash it. I like JSN more. Puka certainly could be the number 1 overall player. So could JSN, though. So Walker over Hall by a lot for me. Other running backs are Hampton. Don't even need to know because your team. Yeah, that's going to be good for you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Easy call. Hey, Smitty, who's the smart keeper? 10-man, 0.5. Puka, 2.2. Hampton, 3.9. Rice, 5.9. Keep one only, leaning Rice, then taking running backs. I would lean Rice as well because, well, Puka at 2.2 is pretty good. But who are you getting at 2.2? A.J. Brown or someone like that, then Pickens, then I'm definitely not keeping Puka. Hampton, 3.9 is pretty good. That's like that territory. You're not getting a running back at that caliber. Rice, you might get a Rice at 5 point. You might get a Rice caliber player at 5.9. What if you get a Parker Washington and he plays very similar to Rice? I think I go Hampton at 3.9. If it was Hampton 3.1, maybe not, but Hampton 3.9, I think that's the play for me. But chat, vote on that. I like Rice a lot in 5. Okay, actually, let me amend my answer. Please let me know what running back you would have or player and try and get my attention so I see you. To go along with Rice, if you kept Rice and got your 3.9 back, project the player at 3.9. If I know the answer to that, I can give you my answer. Just guess as best as you can. 12-team PPR redraft: Herbert, Gibbs, Tootin, White, Mason, Nabers, Pickens, Emily, Shea, Loveland. Trade Nabers. Love the trade questions. Trade Nabers, Loveland, and White for Olave, Hall, and Likely. If I like losing, I would trade the Nabers, Loveland, and Rashad White for Olave, Hall, and Likely side. If I like losing, I definitely trade away Nabers. Nabers and Loveland alone. Take Rashad White out. Just blast Hall and Olave and Likely, just so you know. I'm not trading Nabers. No, thank you. Those trading Nabers have like some sort of scared, situation. And by the way, we had gifted memberships. And I think I whispered Gio. Thank you, Gio. I don't know if you heard me, but Gio, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. You straight up savage, you Gio. Gio, you're still out there. And is Morg out there? Have we found Morg? Morg dropped his super chat. We can't get a hold of him. It's like the 3rd straight day we're trying to call Morg. Morg, let me know. I'm here for you. And Gio to the moon. Gio, you still here? Thank you so much for dropping that super chat, young man. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Gio to the mother freaking moon. Let's open the phone lines.
Call into the show.
There he is, Gio.
Call into the
there
show.
he is. Gio's here. Gio, appreciate you. Gio season in full effect. My boy Gio. Blitzen and Gio are underrated on this channel as far as like contributors and getting people riled up, gifting memberships. And if I don't thank Blitzen and Gio enough, and people like that are still just dripping like a faucet here and there, I so thank you. Gio says best show. Thank you, Gio. So a lot of news today. Just not a lot of crazy news today. Morg was in the chat and got your answer. Thank you, DK. Thank God. I've been searching for this like it's the lost scrolls of fantasy football, beginnings. Just been like trying to make sure Morg got taken care of, and now I can like sleep. Thank you, DK. DK might be the I don't know, the like accountant in chief here, or the what can we titled him? The record keeper. You start calling DK the record keeper. He keeps the little tiny things in order. Yeah, Geo season. What's up, Luis? Luis in the building. What if Jacobs gets suspended next year? You mean like when? Like when does he get suspended? Remember all the people that come in and ask me this and that, and why do I not like Jacobs, and why do I not like the Green Bay Packers and all this? I would think Schefter wouldn't be bringing it up at all if there wasn't something there with Puka and Jacobs. If he gets suspended, then he's even worse value. He's one of the worst values in fantasy. Love the dedication to taking care of your members, bro. Thank you, Hoagie. We love having Hoagie here too. Hoagie, you've been awesome lately too. Thank you very much. My moderators, Sick Nasty, Blackbeard, Vampy, Aldi, Simi Valley, DeBalt, and then of course Travis. And if I'm missing anybody, my brain is fried, and I apologize. Please do not be offended if I missed anybody. I don't think I did, but probably left out like someone like Blackbeard. I know I said Blackbeard, but like sometimes I'll read off of. I got it. Got a lot going in the noggin and out. Neighbors for Burden and or what or who? Neighbors for Burden. How about we just don't trade Neighbors? You know what I'm saying? I just don't like. Why are we doing it? Why are we actively trying to go get rid of Neighbors? How can I downgrade, Smitty? Like, no, I don't. I'm an upgrader, not a downgrader. I don't walk into the Apple store and say, "Hey, I've got this brand new iPad and an AirBook. How can I get into that iPad mini and that iPod? Can you give me 7 iPods? I would love to have that."
Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Jeanty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Jeanty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. All right, prepare for take 1. All right, action.
He's a box score, Bobby. He's a little sloppy. Box score, Bobby. He's a box score, Bobby. He's so sloppy. Bobby.
All right. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Boy, what's my boy C-Mac saying? C-Mac, what's up, my boy? I got 140, if anyone knows. So, yeah, we didn't talk about that yet. Jed York got in some trouble. Niners owner got in some trouble. He was visiting the trailer park. And, we know where the substation money, the relocation substation money has been going. Jed York's been using it for his extracurricular activities with the ladies and got arrested. And that didn't go so well. So the Niners, you just can't make it up. It's just crazy. Bucky and Gainwell for Jeanty. If you like winning, Austin, if you like winning, have Mike Washington. I don't even understand how this is happening. Why is this not happening at my league? That's a pretty easy decision. This one here from Area. Appreciate you. 10-team 2QB Superflex Dynasty startup. May, Dart, Bucky, Price. Okay. We got gifted memberships. BBQ with 50 gifted memberships.
I smell meatloaf.
BBQ coming in strong with the 50 gifted memberships right now. Guys, thank BBQ if you get one, or even if you don't get one, because he's trying to get you one. So BBQ to the mother freaking moon. Meatloaf time. This team, May, Dart, Bucky, Price. I like it. Tet, Lemon, Pierce, McBride, Coker. Does it feel like the best team? It's your first time playing fantasy. Can kind of tell. But also say that you have a lot of talent to move around. But I would say, May and Dart's pretty good. Would I downgrade like Dart into Malik Willis to like upgrade something? That would be one target of mine. I think Malik Willis is super undervalued. Dart's very, very nicely valued. So you should be able to potentially walk into a Malik Willis and try and upgrade, let's say, Tet or, probably Tet. Don't you could trade McBride down to like Warren or Fannin to upgrade Tet into a monster. Those are things I'd consider, but just be very careful not to just give away McBride or make the first trade. Somebody offered me this. Maybe bring it to us. We also have a Patreon. If you join the 24/7 365 live chat Patreon, I'll put the link in the description right now. You could ask the chat anytime, and Travis and I are in there all the time. It's not designed for you to just say, "Hey, Smitty, what do you think?" It's, "Hey, chat, what do you think?" And Travis and I are in there quite a bit. There's the link right there. Cancel anytime. You can just join for 2 months, and it's $20. The price of a couple cups of coffee, and then you could get 24/7 live chatting going on with your trades, and then we could see this stuff live, and you can get advice. But that way you don't make a mistake. But I'm certainly in the business of taking this team, trying to maybe even, it's just I like. May Dart's great, but I like the idea of maybe leveraging Dart, who's an injury risk, and there's other quarterbacks like Willis I like in crafty fashion better to just upgrade that Tet. If you have McBride and some sort of Pickens with Bucky, Price, and May and Willis, now we're talking, but it is a 10-man league, and I also want to know what players are on waivers at QB for you to decide if you could even pick up a QB and trade Dart for just a wide receiver or something like that, or a wide receiver Tet and Dart for one player and pick up a quarterback. If there's some reason in this 10-man league there's a quarterback out there. Thank you for the super chat, and I think the Patreon would be a good place for you, as it would be for a lot of people. Would you downgrade Dart for Malik Willis and A.J. Brown? Yes, but I don't know. You probably have to give up something along with that. Like example, like you might have to give Ted McMillan in that and do some sort of greater deal. But if you pull that off, we quit our jobs 11:25 and we come work for you. If you can pull off that particular trade right there, yes, 100% try to execute upon that. We can help you, man, and the Patreon will be a great place to learn for your first year. And it's just such a fun environment. Smitty just drafted from the 1.11 thoughts. Josh Allen, Cook, Chase Brown, Ladd, DJ Moore, Parker Washington, Brooks. Guys, rate this team on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best team you've ever seen, 0 being the worst team you've ever seen, 1 being pretty bad. Rank this team. I'm not saying that it's bad. I just want to see, I keep preaching that going running back is hurting people's chances of being the number one team in their league, especially when the draft's over and you're like, who's got the best team? The team drafting at 11 or 12 that goes running back, almost certainly will not be rated the best team by the majority of people. Because it just, your wide receivers, everything gets hampered a little bit. I'm going to hide in a trailer park, says C-Mac. Thank you, C-Mac. 6.8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. That's a good score. 8 out of 10 is good. But it just, for me, I'm going with that A.J. Brown or Pickens instead of the second running back. Give me ETN instead of Cook down in 4. And give me the A.J. Brown or St. Brown or Lamb or whatever wide receiver you could get in place of Cook to have that balance. That's just me. I think it makes the team a lot better. I'm definitely a balanced guy at the 11-12 pick. I'm definitely a running back guy, but not from the 10, 11, or 12 pick. It makes it really, really hard. And I'm just curious what the audience is going to rank this team. And if you get a lot of more 8 votes than I expect, then you should feel good about it. But I personally don't love the running back approach this year from the 12 spot. I think it can be a detriment. Thank you for the super chat. Caller, just mute yourself real quick. I'll be right with you. Overcome says Dynasty, Cook and Jamison Williams for Chargers backfield. I mean, Cook goes higher than the Chargers backfield. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that, like quietly. I'm not going to tell anybody. But why are you giving up JMO? Overcome, what are you doing? You're my boy, Blue. You know I love you, pal. But what are we doing back there? You're not even using the fair market value to your advantage. What's up, Smitty? Thank you, Overcome. Let me see something better than that. Rank these. Achane, JT, Chase Brown, K9, Cook for the 1.11 pick. You guys may not like it. You may not agree with it. I don't really care. This is just my opinion, and that's what you guys ask of me, and I'm just going to give it. And I obviously appreciate you guys, and I do care. But I don't care when people don't like my pick. I'm going to say Achane. He's a top 3 or 4 overall player. I'm going to say JT after that. I'm going to say Ken Walker, Chase Brown are tied for me after that, and Cook after that. You can get mad at all you want. I love James Cook. But it doesn't mean just because I like other players better doesn't mean I hate James Cook. JT, AJB, JSN. I'm going to go JSN, JT, Amon-Ra, St. Brown in that order. Thank you for that super chat. This one here from 2479 says, not sure if you do any salary cap draft formats, but I do keep Nabers for $41 and a $200 budget. That's a very good deal. And my other keeper is ETN for $11. Those are both fantastic. And if you go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, all my rankings are based off auction dollars, and there's auction dollars attached to every single ranking over on thefantasyfootballshow.com. So just sort by the dollar amount. You can even change the dollar amount to $250 rankings, 200, 150, whatever. So everything's based on auction dollars, and those are fantastic numbers. $41 for Nabers is a really good value. Is it the steal of the century? No, but that's certainly something. He's worth more than that if you're buying right now. TM42, can you see Booty having a breakout in Houston? No, I did address that already. I'm not even picking him up. But I think he's a decent addition football-wise for the team. What's up, Smitty? Rank these, Ashton Jeanty. I think I did that one already. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Bucky Gainwell for Jeanty. I said that was a ridiculous offer. If you're cooking that up, that person's going to slam the door in your face, by the way. But you take the Jeanty side. I wish you well. Let us know if you pull it off. 10-man, 2 QB Superflex. This is the one I already went over it already. This one here from Michael. Michael says, Shopping My Egbuka. It sounds like an album name. At the Shopping My Egbuka, the Trailer Park 2.0. Like that sounds like a full, 49er rap album from some of these 49er rappers out there. Have you guys seen these? Some of these fan bases have these rappers. Like the 49ers have like the most rappers you can find. They're just like rappers, and they're serious. They're really serious about it. They create this rap music around the 49ers. It's crazy. And they're dead serious. That sounds like one of the albums, like Shopping My Egbuka, Trailer Park, Shopping My Trailer Park Egbuka. That's a total album. Achan for Gibbs straight up. What? Thinking of pairing my Achan for Gibbs straight up, or should I ask for more? Shopping. So Buka and Achan for Gibbs. Okay. Sorry, the way you were wording that. Chat, vote on that one. Achan and Buka for Gibbs. What are we thinking on that? I have Chase, Burden, and BTJ. Can I get a vote on that one, please? Egbuka and Achan for Gibbs. Vote on it. Gibbs easy. Yes, do it. Yeah, Gibby. There's your vote. I agree. I do think Achan's better than people think, but you kind of got to take that. It's he's such a monster, bro. He's Gibbs, bro. He's Gibbs. Have you ever even calculated what that ends up being? But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs's workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. Which we did before he's ever drafted. So we eventually need to dub in top 1 to 1. Yeah, and I do think some of you voting against Achan and Buka side are a little hard on it. I think it's closer than some of you are saying. Easy, Gibbs, easy. It's not easy, but I think you just go Gibbs. But that other side is still very lucrative. I mean, Achan is a top 3 overall player. I don't think some of you are respecting Achan enough right now. But I had the 10-team standard auction draft. Went stars and scrubs. Lamar, Jeanty, Chase Brown, Jettas, Waddle, Kraft, Rico, but no bench. Got to play waivers. I'm just not a Waddle guy, and I definitely am worried about JJ. So you clearly haven't seen a lot of my Waddle and JJ content lately, but I do love Jeanty and Chase Brown. I like Kraft a lot. Rico's interesting. I would be very tempted myself to be exploring selling high on Waddle and Jettas and trying to get players like Pickens and AJ Brown who go below Jettas, so maybe you get something there. Waddle, I don't know. He's good value if you got him late, auction wise. I don't know what you paid, but he's not bad. I don't hate Waddle. I just think people are drafting Waddle like at the end of 3. It's crazy. It's like that is insane value. I'd rather have Sutton at a much greater discount. I think Sutton could even outscore him. It's wild to me. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's on the phone line? David, you've been very patient. You're live. Thank you for being muted. And what a guy. David, you're live, or whoever your name is.
Absolutely. Dave and hey, Smitty, love the show, and just wanted a quick take here real quick.
Yeah.
I got Baker as my QB2 in the fantasy. I got somebody right now dangling Malik Willis in front of me. Do you think Baker's going to cook? What do you think about that?
I think he could cook, but what are they offering you? Because, I mean, Willis is a lot lower value. I quietly like him enough to, like, make this move, but what are you getting? Because Baker, Willis, I think there's a little bit of a difference in value, or are they just trying to do it straight up?
Boss man, it's a straight up.
Well, okay, so if those rules are in play, chat, are we putting our money where our mouth is and we just say, let's just ride the Malik Willis train into the sunrise or the sunset? Or do we say Baker, touchdown maker, offense, Zach Robinson, going to be great, don't take this chance, don't need to take this chance? Or do you say this guy's running like crazy and the market's the market? Let's see what everybody says. I personally think you should be getting more, and that just because he says he's not doesn't, he's obviously, is he inquired? Is he the one that wanted Baker?
Correct.
Okay, so there's some leeway here, bro. I would just say,
so let give it a little bit of time.
I would just respond with, look, you can pull up any ranking or ADP board or draft, and Baker goes way over Willis. You want to make this trade? What are you giving me to do it? And if he says nothing, then why I don't understand what you're at. Why would you walk up to somebody and say, hey, I'll give you a $20 bill and you give me, a $50 bill? And he could say, oh no, Willis is what? Then say, why are you trading him then? If you're obviously trying to get Baker, just be fair, be upfront. What are you going to give me? Don't just tell him not to beat around the bush. He's asking you, so he clearly likes Baker more. Say, I'm not an idiot. I clearly know you like Baker more. What are you giving me? And if he keeps going, just go, I'm not going to have this conversation with you, bro. Baker gets drafted way before Willis. What are you giving me? If not, then don't ask me. That's the way I approach it.
Absolutely. Hey, man, love the show, dude. I know you got other callers. Have a great night. Appreciate your time.
Later, bro. Thank you. Call back if you got another offer or a counter. All right? Later.
You got it, Smitty.
Yeah, I mean, some people are just I hate when people try and fantasy explain the trade. You really need this. Don't worry about me, or you need to trade me him. He's going to be bad. Trade him to me. 10-man full PPR, one keeper. Dak, T-Law, Gibbs, Brooks, Coleman, Hendy, Jamar Chase, AJB, Nabers. Come on, bro. Parker Washington, Stribling, Cyrus the Virus, Loveland. I watch all the time. What do you say? I think you either watch all the time or you never turn the show off and you got it on repeat 24/7, 25 hours a day. You're listening to this show, or you're playing in the biggest 10-man grandma league, 10 grandma league I've ever seen. Not even a 10-man league. It's a 10 grandma league. Dak, Gibbs, Brooks, Coleman. That's a great team, bro. There's nothing to even trade. What are you going to do? Are you going to upgrade Chase, AJB, Neighbors? Nothing there. Loveland, fantastic. Maybe you're moving Kraft and Brooks gained some value. You're a week 1, week 2, week 3 trader. Chase somebody that's dipping, that's buy low. Sell Brooks on the high, or Hendy, and I'm not saying I want to sell those guys, but I'm always in the business of upgrading. So Brooks, Hendy, Coleman, Washington. Go to the Jeanty owner. See if you can give him Brooks, Hendy, and Kraft for Jeanty. If not, you're trying to sell him Parker Washington Mike Washington somehow by upgrading Coleman, Hendy, or Brooks now, or you just wait. But not only that, but this is a $50 hauler, by the way.
Give me $50 holler. I get by the brother Smitty. Give me $50. Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws.
Team is insane, bro. Drew, I'm proud of you, but this is one of those teams where it's so good. It's hey, Ma, I went to the basketball court on the 8-foot hoops and dunked on a bunch of 8th graders today. You proud of me? That's kind of what it's like, but the team's so good. I still very much want to pat you on the back. I would say try and make that move that I just described. Or, maybe the Jeanty owner has a little bit better quarterback. You throw him Mike Washington and Kraft, or they need a tight end. You might find the perfect combination of somebody who has a better quarterback, a bad tight end, and maybe you're just swapping And I like T-Law and Dak. I'm not saying they're trash. I'm just saying if you can go up one by giving them Kraft, look at that option too. Those are a couple avenues, but you are probably one of those teams that waits until week 1 and then you just smash a trade, bro, because someone's freaking out, panic Peter on some player that's not doing anything for 2 straight weeks and everyone thinks they're trash. Dynasty Cook and JT for Gibbs and ETN. Dynasty Cook and JT for Gibbs and ETN. He's always doing these trades where you're getting kicked in one side of the sack and then the other you're not. Hard to say what's going on here, but I will probably say give me Gibbs and ETN. I think ETN's close enough to Cook, whether people agree with me or not, that you've got to take the Gibbs over JT side of this. So Gibbs and ETN all day for me. But I understand why you might think differently. I get it. Is Dart, Tracy, Pierce for Willis and AJB enough? Alec Pierce? Yeah, that it's not enough, but I would certainly try it. That would be amazing if you pull it off. You might get like the door slammed in your face. You got to be a little careful because you throw something like that at somebody, they get in the no business, and then when you send them an offer they would have normally maybe entertained, they're already like, I don't want your offers. So it doesn't feel like enough. But then again, it's like, who am I to say that this person values Willis where we do, and maybe they hate him and they're like, Dart, I want Dart. I would think you got to give up. Chat, would you give up Dart and Ted McMillan for Willis and A.J. Brown? I would. So I feel like that's more along the lines of what you're going to have to give up to get into an A.J. Brown. And I think Willis is as good as Dart, honestly. So I think, to me, I'm going from Ted to A.J. Brown. I think you got to kind of look at it that way. $10 super chat. Hey, Smitty, with Gibbs as my keeper and no round penalty, who do I draft in the first overall in a 14-man PPR? JT or Cook, or go Lamb or JJ? I probably would go Lamb personally. I love JT and Cook, but I want the balance if I can. I don't mind going JT, though. If you think you're going to get a Nabers or a Pickens or somebody of that caliber later, then I would change my answer to JT. But only you're going to know the answer to that, and I just want to make sure you are equipped with that knowledge before you make your decision. But damn, are you going to be in a good spot to get Lamb, who's a first rounder. So you got Gibbs and Lamb, 2 first-round picks to start off. Can't go wrong there. I think that, you're still going to get lots of running back value that we love later. So that's kind of the way I'm leaning now, unless you can assure me that you're going to get a Pickens or a Nabers with that 3rd pick, and then I'm okay with it. I'm okay going JT, and that might even be, could be more powerful if you land that receiver. Chuck Nasty, you are live, young man.
How's it going? Just wanted to come on here and I saw the Neighbors practice video today he's cutting, he's looking insane. I know it sounds crazy, but I think this might be one of the more impressive comebacks after a full-blown, injury I've seen in a while. The way he's just moving out there, he's just a freak of nature, I don't think people understand the level of athlete he is. And I know we'd be on the Neighbors hype train all offseason and ever since he's been drafted. He's just a specimen, one-of-one athlete. He's just going to dominate this year. He's going to win people. People that are in the chat asking about trying to trade him away are crazy.
I don't know why. I don't know why someone will want to trade him away. I think it's a little bit of that fear of, kind of like example Jeanty. Jeanty's out for the year with the knee injury. Wait a minute, it's an ankle. He's not out for the year. And there's 2 types of people in this world. There's the, woo! All right, Jeanty all aboard. And then there's the people that go, woo! Better get rid of him because I finally got a break. And I don't know. I just want to get out of this now before it gets worse. So there's those 2 types of people. People trying to trade Neighbors now after they've watched and endured and they were right. And, having him and other people doubting him, and you had him and you're right, you're proven right, and you're on your way up, and now you just want to get out. It's mind-boggling to me, but it is because there are 2 types of people. They're the worried Willies, the nervous Nancys and nervous Neds that just can't handle the stress of it, and they just want to wash their hands of it. And they do. That's like when someone can't stand a Rice, for example, and Rice disappoints them, and then in the offseason they're just like, I just want to get rid of him, and they send him off for some stupid trade. It's like, bro, you gotta think of it like a business. Every transaction, every team needs to be looked at in that capacity, or you're going to leave value on the table, or you're playing for second place. You're never going to be a true winner in this racket if you're sitting there just making emotional decisions like, I won't draft Rashee Rice because of what he did in the offseason. You're playing for second place, Steve. Okay, and that's okay if that's what Steve's signing up for. But if you want to actually play for first place and get in you can't get emotional. You can't get your panties in a bunch over what a player's doing in the offseason, and you can't say I'm not drafting a certain player. Like that's just somebody. I respect it. I wish I could do it, but I can't. But I respect it, but I don't agree with it. You're not going to be playing for first place. You're not going to be a baller in this racket if you're doing stuff like that nonsense.
Yeah, I know it's wild. I mean, and it's like last year we saw it. You know, first few games we were like, oh my god, we just got the number one overall receiver, and of course injury happened. But yeah, I don't. Same thing with Love. I don't get it. Panic eaters everywhere. But yeah.
All right, Chuck, call back if you got another one. I just let you know, guys, on the phone line. I don't do a panel. It's all just in and out of the phone line because of the rotation. All right, thanks, Chuck. Call back if you got another one.
I'll talk.
All right, let's see here. Super chats, I think, are caught up at this moment in time. Phone lines are open. Cycle on in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Judkins is him. I don't know about that. I think he's a good player, but he's in a horrible situation with probably the most inept coach right now in the game. If you want to potentially take out a few of the other players like Stefanski because he's got Reese. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, guys, again, 8 p.m. phone line is a rotation. It's no sitting on the phone line or anything. Not 8 p.m. That's graveyard. So call in if you got multiple questions. I'll tap you in. You can call back if you got another one. But I am rotating everybody around. That's the way the 8 p.m. show is. That's the way it always will be. I got a phone caller right here at the 531. If the 714 can mute, 513, you're live. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Roller Coaster Mike again, calling from California.
Oh, hold on a second. When I said, hey, 513, and the other person started talking, what are we doing there? 714.
Sorry, I heard 714.
Yeah, mute yourself. I'll be right with you.
513.
Go to 513. Who's 513? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Elijah from Cincinnati.
Elijah. Okay, Elijah, what can I do for you, young man?
What do you think of my first three picks? Bijan, Love, and Pickens.
I don't like them. I love them.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Smitty.
Bro, why you sound so down? You just drafted probably the best team in your league.
No, I'm happy. I know. I got.
You sound happy. Hey, you just won the lottery. Okay, great.
Adams was my fourth.
Your car's on fire outside. Okay. God, what's your name, bro? What's your name?
Elijah.
Monotone Elijah. That's what we're gonna call you, my boy. Give me that team one more time. Let me be excited for your team. Your team deserves better. Give me your team one more time. Love, Pickens, and then it was Bijan?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to get excited for this for you. They deserve this. This is the team right here, ladies and gentlemen. What is fun? Monotone Elijah. Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Hey, keep your chin up. Call in anytime. You're drafting championships here, my boy. This is a squad. It's a squad. What else you got? Is this it? You're on the clock in the fourth pick or what? The fourth pick?
No. So my other players are Adams, Devontae Adams, Jameson Williams.
JMO.
I got Bo Nix.
Bo. Underrated Bo.
Jr.
Who?
Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, I mean, cuffed him. Okay.
Bijan. I got Jonah Coleman.
Nice.
Monongai.
I like this. This is a good team. I was wondering if you just gave me the top three because you screwed the rest of it up. Well, no, you did good. I like it. I like it. Coleman, do you have Harvey by chance? Harvey and Coleman together? That's a league winner, bro. It's a league winner.
I know. I need to get Harvey. I'm trying to get Algier too, just in case.
Okay. Don't worry too much about Algier, but try and get Harvey somehow. All right. Appreciate you, my boy. Nice team.
Thanks.
Keep that chin up. Later. Elijah from Ohio. Monotone Elijah. We love the guy. He's a fan favorite already. Roller Coaster 714. Is this Roller Coaster? What's up, my guy? You're live.
Yo, what's up, Smitty? I just had a quick question. When you're drafting in, like, say, an ESPN league and stuff, you're at the turn at the end of 3 and 4. What's your opinion on if Garrett Wilson, if you see Nabers is gone, Pickens is gone, and AJ Brown is gone? How do you like Garrett Wilson there if you're feeling pretty good on RB?
I like him. Give me the list of all the players available though. That'll be more helpful. So
I mean, it's just more theoretical, just in case. I just wanted to know your opinion on it.
Give me the list of players. So Garrett Wilson that you think will be there in theory, and I'll rank them for you.
If I thought would be there, it would be Garrett Wilson, Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne. The 3-4 turn's not very generous in ESPN. What else is there?
Josh Allen gone. Josh Allen's gone. McBride's gone. Obviously,
Josh Allen would be gone.
Yeah, these ESPN drafts are so wild. The ADP's all over the place. It's so wild.
It's wild. Yeah, I agree.
So Garrett Wilson, ETN, those are probably my two favorite players there. I think of what you read, unless I misheard you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree there. I think so, but. That's just my only question there. And then, I would say, like, when you're also in, like, the first round in ESPN drafts, I think this was talked about on that one midnight show.
Ron, I'll just get you in here real quick.
I see HM, like, having an ADP of 9 or 10 on the ESPN drafts.
Yeah.
You know, are we really willing to take, like, HM there over, say, CMC or JT if he falls to like 7, 8, 9.
I think Achane is the third best running back in fantasy football. So, yeah, I would.
Yeah, fair enough. I just do remember you also saying taking Achane at that ADP is you're spending a lot more than you usually would. That was just my only concern there.
I don't think I said that. I mean,
I might be putting words into your mouth by accident, but I think I heard that.
I think so. I think what you heard was that, you know, it sucks getting Achane in the mid-second on Underdog, and then you go to an ESPN draft and his ADP's in the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range. I didn't say I didn't say it. I've said over and over, if you watch my show the last handful of weeks, I've said I'd take Achane at 3 if I had to, but don't tell anybody. So
don't tell anybody that then.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. But Achane, I have not said anything about I don't like paying for it. That's not. I think you misheard me. But Achane, I've been taking Achane and Pickens, Achane and AJB, and it feels glorious, bro. From the first and second rounds, I think when you can get Achane at the turn, at the 11 or 10 or 12 pick, it's like taking candy from a baby. And then you grab Pickens or AJB at the second round slot, and you're good to go. And I don't care if I'm reaching on both of them. It's like it doesn't matter. They're two glorious picks. All right, appreciate you, my guy. Call back if you got.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right. Talk to you later. Thank you.
Bye. Anything else?
Hey, I'm just excited for the season to start and start going crazy in the game day chat again.
All right. Call him more often, Roller Coaster. I love having you on the Patreon. Roller Coaster is an active member of the Patreon, by the way. He's always over there. That link is, I don't know, I'll have to throw it in the chat again. If you guys want to be a part of the 365 24/7 live chat group, Roller Coaster's over there all the time. Roller Coaster, appreciate you, my boy. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good one. Bye.
Later. Here is the link to it, if I can then get it to paste in. My whole system's locked up. Hold on. I can't even get this to. Everything's frozen. Ron Navy, you're live.
What's up, Smitty?
What is up?
Oh man, am I glad that I cuffed Washington to Jeanty. That's for sure.
I bet. Let me get Rock out in here real quick. Hold on. Rock out, mute yourself. I'll be right with you. Yeah, it's you're not out of the woods yet per se. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show, but like he definitely could potentially miss week 1 still. So yeah, you definitely need the
I saw
cup. But there's a chance he plays. I'd say it's like 50-50 right now. He plays week 1. But even if he did miss one game, big deal. Big deal. you're still. Let me see if I can paste this link in here because I don't know why everything's locked up. But you're good if you have the handcuff. You know, people that don't have the handcuff, I feel bad for them because, I mean, they really should have known better. We've only been saying it all off season long. I can't even get this to paste.
What I agree with you about the whole Sanders. I mean, he's getting screwed over so bad, and you watch him try to throw in. It's all about the money. They're still trying to recoup some sort of money from Watson, who he can't. He looks like crap. His passing looks like crap. He doesn't look any better than he did before.
He's awful. He's trash.
Yeah, he's trash, and Sanders deserves it. But you know, they put a thing out against him because of his dad. That's what I believe.
There's the link right now to the Patreon. If anybody wants to join the live chat Patreon, I just dropped it finally. It's trash. I mean, I can't probably even emphasize it any more than I already have. But just that I think, you know, Munkin's clearly not a good head coach because a good head coach would not make this decision. Even if for some reason you thought that there was a chance that, and some of you are going to say he doesn't make the call, it comes from upstairs, then he shouldn't have taken the job. Like, then he's even worse than I thought because he doesn't have any control. So that's his fault, not mine. That's what you call a bad head coach. That's what you call a guy that took a job that shouldn't have taken the job if he's unable to make decisions at all. He's the head coach. And this organization, as I alluded to, so if you want to blame it on the ownership, that's a part of my argument too, is this ownership is just incompetent. And they have been for quite some time. And this is just a debacle. And even if you thought for some reason that maybe Deshaun Watson had a little bit better chance of this or that, answer the question of, does that exist anymore after his ridiculous comments that he said about his own fan base and how they're going to boo and wish him to be out of the lineup? If that guy goes down with an injury, they're going to cheer even louder than before when he gets carted off the field because they don't like him. And he doesn't like his own fans, so he's not going to get any sympathy from anybody. And I'm not saying anybody should get cheered for when they get injured, but this guy's going to be really hard to defend when he goes down with an injury and the whole stadium's cheering. And I'm not going to be getting in here. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm not going to get in here and defend him because this guy's been a debacle since he's gotten in the league, and he's made a mockery of his opportunity, of the team, of the position, and in the offseason, and then now he goes and tells his fan base, you know, all the things he told them. I don't know if anybody knows what he did, but he went in front of reporters and said that, you know, his fans are disrespectful. They cheered for him when he got hurt, and it's this, you know, disrespectful fan base. Like, your own fan base. You can't, like, there are people that cheered, but that doesn't define everybody. The people that might have defended you, all of them are now against you. So Watson has no idea how to command a situation at a podium. How can you expect Watson to command a huddle and endure the stresses that go along with that? If he can't endure the stresses of answering a question and answering it properly and thinking out his answer clearly, you think he's going to make decisive decisions under center? And we already know that that's not the case because he looks like trash. And this organization should be ashamed of themselves. And this fan base should quit.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that is, you know, he's complaining the fans are blah, blah, blah. Well, they haven't got their money out of him, and they've been booing him since the very first year when he was causing all the trouble, and then they overpaid for him. But, I mean, people want to think bad about – no, this is a normal thing. If you go to the New York teams, the Giants and the Jets, their fans are like that all the time. If you don't produce in New York, you're run out of there real quick. The fans run people out left and right in New York. That's a fact. So the fact that Cleveland's doing it, I'm not a Cleveland fan, of course, because I'm a Steelers fan, but I don't blame them at all because I don't want Watson in there.
Yeah, he's
and they're super pissed off because they lost their best defensive player.
He's a debacle. The team's a debacle. The ownership's a debacle. The decision making's a debacle. The draft selections are a debacle. Drafting Dylan Gabriel before Shedeur was a joke in itself, and then everybody thinking that it wasn't a problem It made such a disaster out of the situation to take Shador after Dillon Gabriel because of the pecking order and draft capital and the way that it then stunted the potential. Why even take Shador? If you don't think Shador is better than Dillon Gabriel, why did you even draft him? Because you're just putting yourself in a bad spot if you're drafting somebody you don't see as somebody that deserved the fall. You wanted to take a gamble on him, and you put him in a spot where you can't even use him. It's just incompetence at its finest. It really is. And I feel bad for Browns fans. You got to place the vent here if you want, but Browns fans should quit. They should follow another team. They don't deserve you. The Browns don't deserve you. It's a debacle. Real quickly, Ron.
You know what's funny is I was when you were covering live, when you were live covering that draft, and they picked. I mean, you were on Shador. You've been a Shador guy all the way back from when he was guy, and you've been on his side and thinking he's been done wrong ever since that draft.
Upsetting.
So you haven't changed your tune on Shador at all.
And I'm not saying Shador's a world star. I'm not saying he's a top 5 to 7 quarterback. I'm not saying any of those things. He's just a NFL caliber starter, like maybe bottom barrel that could get better and improve. But he's been handed the raw end of the deal. He's never been given an opportunity. He's had one handcuffed behind his back, and then two is one of his legs the entire time he's been in the league. He's had incompetent coaching. He's had such incompetent coaching in Stefanski, which is what anybody thinking that this Falcons situation is going to be good for you. This is going to be one of the worst years for the Falcons that you could think of, given the talent. It's going to be a disaster for this team in terms of wins and losses, and how Stefanski ruins this entire season. And even though the talent's there, but Stefanski's incompetent, and he doesn't know what he's doing. And the fact that this man, Stefanski, didn't even let Shador take snaps with his starting center until right before kickoff and warm-ups shows you how he doesn't even know a lick about football. He doesn't. And he doesn't know how to play call because he's had that ripped from him twice. And that's why he had to bring Tommy Rees over. The only hope is that Tommy Rees still does what he did with Fannin, dials up a lot for London. Pitts does fairly well. They're playing from behind because Stefanski's not a good coach. And you just got to hope Bijan doesn't get overworked and run into the ground. You got to hope he's got some touchdown equity, which he might have a lot less than you think. People thinking Bijan's going to outscore Gibbs this year. Gibbs is going to live in the red zone. It's all about touchdown equity when it comes to these very even, Steven, everything's very close players like Gibbs and Bijan, the elite of the elite. Jamar Chase and another receiver that's as talented like JJ, not in a touchdown equity situation. Is JJ as talented as Jamar Chase physically? Yes. He might even be better than Jamar Chase overall. But the touchdown equity that JJ lives in is almost non-existent. The touchdown equity that Jamar Chase lives in is 18 to 20 touchdown potential, just like Gibbs could get 18 to 20 plus touchdowns in 2026. And Bijan's going to struggle to get 10, 11, 12. And he could get it. But this is Stefanski's the worst decision that the Falcons could have made. It is such a moronic choice. Real quickly, let me get through these super chats. Let me get through these super chats real quickly, and then I'll go over to Rock Out real quick. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and Chuck, just mute yourself. I'll be with you in a little bit. Just mute yourself, please. Let me go through these super chats. Mike Cook and Devontae Smith or Ibuka for JSN and Tootin. I would definitely keep Buka over Devontae Smith. And would I trade Cook and Smith for JSN and Tootin? It's a close one because Tootin and Devontae Smith have similar value. But I would probably say I like JSN more than Cook enough to say that I like the... Yeah, I'm going to say go ahead and go JSN Tootin, but it's arguable for sure. There's definitely some argument to be made there. This one, I got Manungai for a mid-second in Dynasty. Panic Peter. I mean, why are you panicking? He was never guaranteed anything from week one. He's more of a I take over the backfield, watch me roar later kind of guy. So I don't know why you'd be panicked. I'm not understanding that. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. 10-man must start. 3 wide receivers, T. Higgins or Ladd. I'm going Ladd in week 1 personally, but if I had to pick, but I would probably trade one of these guys if you can't start both of them. Use Higgins or Ladd and start the other. I like both of them to upgrade your situation somewhere else, because that is a nice dilemma to have. You don't have to always trade away your depth, but damn, I think I'd try and look to move that. Opinions on a 10-team league: Allen, Jeanty, Achane, love that team. Henderson, Downs, Metcalf, Marvin Harrison, Parker Washington, Stribling. So you definitely went running back heavy, which I don't mind. It's just, you definitely are down, an elite wide receiver because of it. So if you can make a move, then I think you could have a team that you shouldn't have and a team that was better than you could have drafted out of the gate if you went balanced. So it's just all about what you are able to do. Henderson, Downs, Metcalf, Parker Washington, Marvin Harrison Jr., Stribling. It's just a matter of trying to couple of those guys together to get one better player. Players that come to mind, obviously, Nabers, Pickens, probably I'd say Garrett Wilson even is one that you could cheaply get, maybe a little cheaper. I don't know if you're going to be able to make any of these moves until after week 1, though, because Henderson doesn't have the value to trade him, and I do like keeping him. MHJ and Parker Washington together, DK and Parker Washington together. Stribling's got some good value right now. Stribling and Parker Washington, Stribling and MHJ. I don't like trading Parker Washington because I love him, but I'm just saying if you can get into that higher caliber wide receiver, then I'm not afraid to use those pieces that I love, even Henderson, if it gets me that extra piece that at the end of the day, I'm going to have enough Henderson shares, Parker Washington shares, because we've been scooping it up left and right, that I'm not afraid to couple it together to get some sort of upgrade. Achane, Jeanty not trading, Josh Allen not trading, Love not trading low. And really the only player that has sell high value is Parker Washington and Stribling right now. So try those two for one better player and bring whatever offers you think you can cook up for somebody that fits that build. That need, and then bring it to us and we'll vote on it. But that's the only move right now. Otherwise, you're waiting for Hendy and these guys to do well in week 1 and then buy low, sell high. An 8-man, 1 keeper league. 8-man is Bowers my best option. Also have Hampton, CMC, AJ, Love. Also, do you think it is getting gettable option trying to trade Monty for Garrett Wilson? Certainly gettable, sure. Make sure you include your team. I don't have your team up anymore, so I'm not sure what this question is relating to anymore. So always include your team if you're asking a question, even if you've talked about something in the past. 8-man keeper is Bowers my best option. I don't know what that's referencing, so I'll have to go and try to find your other super chat. But please include it in so I know what we're talking about. 8-man jersey. Let me see if I can find that other message. I don't know that I have it right in front of me, or if this is just actually your first message anyway. I don't know, but I would say is your best option also of Hampton. Best option for what? Keeper? Out of these guys? So I guess if that's what you're asking me. Hampton, AJ Brown, Love. I mean, Love could be your best keeper. I love Jeremiah Love. Love is a top 5 potential overall player. Bowers, if it's tight end premium, could definitely be considered your number 1 keeper. If not, it is going to be between, for me, Bowers, Hampton, Love, and probably would be Love, but I don't know that you have to make that decision now, right? Because this team obviously has been drafted for this year. So I don't know if you're just asking just to know now, but I would say, at the end of the year, we'll know if Love is a top 5 overall player. Also, you think it's gettable to get Monty or trade Monty for Garrett. I do think you might have to throw in something else, but try, because Monty's sometimes gone at the 4-5 turn. So certainly a potential doable situation. I think you did include everything in there. I think I was confused when I first read it. Thank you. Dynasty Superflex, would you trade AJB and Nix for Lamar? I probably wouldn't, bro. I think Bo Nix, he was number 9 2 years ago. Last year was number 7. Maybe Bo Nix is QB6 this year. Lamar's got a new offense, play caller that's never called a play before, and he's going to be under center, running a lot, might increase injury risk. And you got to rely on Henry staying healthy and staying just as good as normal. And I know he lives forever and all this nonsense, but there is a chance that all can fall apart. And there's a world where Bo Nix with Waddle, even though I think Sutton's underrated, doesn't mean Waddle isn't a huge, amazing addition. Jonah Coleman, Harvey, this entire running stable, the best offensive line maybe in the league, one of the best defensive lines in the league, taking a big step forward. Davis Webb is a play caller. Bo Nix could be better than Lamar. So there's no way I'm making this trade. I'd definitely bank on the Bo Nix side, honestly, because you get that AJB. It's just too much. Smitty team is Caleb, James Cook, Tootin, Lamb, Rice, Fannin, Neighbors. Bench is Garrett Wilson and Dunze. You got a lot of extra firepower. Do I trade for a better running back too? Absolutely. If Rice is, or if Garrett Wilson's on your bench, I'm trading Garrett Wilson or Rice, keeping Lamb, keeping Tootin. I'm probably trying to keep Tootin and try and upgrade James Cook into Gibbs or a top, JT type of player, using a Dunze or Tate or maybe Garrett Wilson in some 2-for-2 trade, unless you're getting Gibbs or, that Achane. If I would trade Garrett Wilson and Cook for Achane and something smaller, just Achane. Tootin, I don't think you'll get enough value from. Would I trade Garrett Wilson or a Dunze with Rice to upgrade the wide receiver Rice slightly into the Pickens AJB territory? I probably would consider that. 1 QB, 10 team PPR, May Dart. This is the last one. I think I have 2 more. Then I'll go back to the phone line. I already answered that one. So we got BBQ's $20 super chat after this one, and then we are caught up, and I'll go to the phone line. Thank you, BBQ. I'm going to read that one in 1 second. This one here from 33 says 1 QB, 10 team PPR, Dart, May, Bijan, Hampton, Brooks, Hendy, Mike Washington, Neighbors, Buka, BTJ, Lemon, Downs, Parker, Washington. Thoughts? Like the team a lot. 1 QB, so I guess I entertain trading Dart, but I don't know in a 1 QB. Everyone wants him. Bijan, Hampton, fantastic. Brooks, Hendy, I love it. Trade value later. Brooks, you could try and shop now, but you probably wait on Brooks and Hendy. Mike Washington, go to the Jeanty owner. See if you can get Jeanty somehow. Whether it's like trading Brooks and Ibuka for Jeanty or something like that. Or trade him Mike Washington to upgrade BTJ, or to upgrade Brooks, or to upgrade, even if you could upgrade, a player slightly, like, would I trade Bijan and Mike Washington and BTJ to get Gibbs? Yeah, like something like that I'd even contemplate. But go to the Jeanty owner. I'm sure the Jeanty owner doesn't have Gibbs. Go to the Jeanty owner, see what you can give Ibuka, BTJ, Parker, Washington, love Bowers, don't touch Bowers, or Brooks to upgrade, or even a Hampton, see what they have, and see if you can upgrade potentially. And would I even downgrade Hampton into Jeanty to gain something massive because they're panicking on BTJ or Ibuka? I would contemplate that, but bring that to me first, because I don't want you to accept something that I don't consider to be along the lines of what I would love to have, smash in that territory of ideas. Watson is so washed, has no heart, just trying to stay relevant. Will only be a matter of time before Sanders is starting. In my opinion, it feels like they're giving Watson his last chance before he implodes and they can move on. And it's so stupid that this team doesn't understand that doesn't even need to happen. They already know what the result's going to be. And this is where you have an incompetent coach, an incompetent situation where they can't just say this is inevitable. Like, we know what the result's going to be. And the fact that they don't like Shedeur enough at all to give him the nod here when Watson just insulted the entire fan base, is now giving himself zero shot. They're only going to piss off their fans against the team now. So what a horribly mismanaged situation. It's the worst thing since the Cracker Barrel logo redesign that we've seen in some time. Thank you, BBQ. Appreciate you with the $20 super chat. BBQ is a monster if you didn't know. An absolute savage. He's been gifted memberships, 50 gifted memberships, $20 super chat. BBQ is the man, the myth, the legend. We love BBQ around these parts. I got 2 other super chats that I'm going to get to after the phone line from Jersey and from Miami. Appreciate you both. I'll put your super chats right here, and any other ones will go right here. Let me go to Rockout real quick, then over to Ron Navy. Rockout, what do you have? What do you hear? What do you say?
How would you go about diversification? I got a draft with the 1 pick, a draft with the 2 pick, and a draft with a 4 pick.
Well, Gibbs for sure. Hope that Gibbs falls to the 2 pick on the other one. Otherwise, Jamar Chase, and then probably JSN or JT. JSN or JT. Pretty clear for me. I almost guarantee I'd have Gibbs, Chase, and JSN. Unless Gibbs fell to that 2nd pick.
Yeah, it's kind of around the same area. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, though. Those are great picks, bro. I wish I had that going on in my draft. I got the middle of the pack, and of course I've got Jeanty and I got Jeremiah Love in my buddy league. I continuously, this is like third, fourth year in a row, that my first and second rounder like get hurt, or first and third rounder. So I got the only two guys with the nagging ankle injuries, Jeremiah Love and Jeanty, on the same team in my buddy league that I've shown you guys, and my team's like off the hook. And it's like I can't catch a break on this in this league for the last 3 years. Next year I'll let you know who I'm drafting. You can just stay away from him. No, we're gonna break the cycle. We're gonna break the trend. Jeanty will be fine. Jeanty's gonna be fine. He's going.
I smell meatloaf.
He's going to feed families, and then so is Jeremiah Love. So it's okay. You know, those things happen. It's 0.5 on the clock. Higgins, Ladd, and Egbuka available. I'm going probably. I would say. Ron, are you going Egbuka or Ladd right now, or Higgins if you're on the clock right now? Redraft.
I still go on Buka. I think he's going to be okay.
I think Ladd could be safer, but Buka or Ladd, you can't go wrong. I'd probably say I still go Buka. Buka could be top 5, man. He really, really could be.
He got that upside.
He's just a monster.
Buka.
Yeah.
All right, Ron, what else you got?
I was just wondering if you plan on because you always do like the morning thing prior to, but what would be cool is if what would it take for you to actually do like a stay live for like all the morning games? Because we haven't got that from you yet. I mean, we get updates and then we get updates. No, I mean stay live for the whole all like the morning games. I know it's a busy day for you, so what would it take to do that? I mean,
so what? Two caveats. And Hammer dropping a $20 super chat. Hammer, appreciate you. Says for the grind, appreciate you. And he says highest ceiling is Ladd, highest floor ceiling Buka, floor Ladd. Thank you, Hammer. Sorry I didn't see that until now. I would probably say so. Just to clarify,
that's like 4 hours that you normally wouldn't be on. So,
well, I would say just to clarify, I'd have to be off.
That we could come up with to get you on.
Well, let me just clarify. So it'd have to be off for the afternoon games because I got to prepare, go live for the afternoon game recap, and that so that have to be spacing in between. So like the whole entire morning games, I would probably say like I don't know. We could set some sort of like super chat goal of the morning like show, not the night before or anything like that. Like it can't carry over. Like there's no like this is for tomorrow. But like if let's say the morning show, I have like a super chat goal in the corner, and in the morning when we go live, if we hit it, I just hit the camera angle and we stay live during the entire morning games. So that might be something we could potentially do. Let me think on that. Chad, if you want to suggest anything, or I mean, what were you like? Is that what you're thinking? Like just make a goal, hit the goal, and then stay live during the whole morning games?
That's because you've never done it before. You get on and you do the update, the start sit thing, and then once the games start, you go away and then you're watching the games and then you're doing updates and you're in Patreon and doing that stuff, but you're never live.
I mean, Chad,
we've done like the 24-hour stream before, but that was different. I mean, that's different. So, I mean, like, what's the incentive? Like, if we were to super chat so much, like 10 people super chat at least like $500 in a stream,
so we get a lot of 20s like that happen. I'd say like I know what do you guys think? What's the chat think? It'd be because it's a long time. It's 3 hours to stay live. Like let's say just kicking around a number.
3,
like let's say we had $100 super chat or above times like 4 or 5. If we had in the morning show $100 super chat times 5, and I'm not even sure if that's a I don't know. I'm just throwing some out. If that happens, then it triggers the 3-hour live stream during the entire morning games, like something like that. We can cook it up.
It's gotta be worth your it's gonna be worth your while though to be.
It's a 3-hour edition, yeah. So, but
you're busy all the time, so multitask. You got to multitask.
Yeah. Or it could even be like four, like I don't know, 4 or 5. Like let's just say, like something like that would make it okay. I could go live, like something like 4 to 5 times that that gets dropped or whatever. So I don't know, like. Something like that. I mean, I could look at like the $50 super chat thing too. Like, would it be 10 $50 super chats? Would it be 7 $50 super chats? Would it be 5 $50? I don't know. We'll have to see because it's a like long. Let me think about it.
5 or 10 different people, because you don't want the same person like donating. I mean, you got the people that donate high, but you want to get everybody involved in it, where they're helping.
I'll say this. Let's do the challenge. Let's do week 1. Let's try and do week 1. So, and again, this can't be the night before. Can't be. Nothing carries over. Just let you guys know. Sometimes we did that with the extenders, where someone's like, "Here's the extender for tomorrow." But so nothing can be just upfront. Nothing can be accepted prior. During the morning show, the Start Bench morning show. This is a challenge. We'll just see if it happens. $100.
Yeah.
$100 super chat. Times 5, then we stay live the entire morning games, not afternoon games, but entire morning games. Let's try it. We'll just try that real quickly. Ron, let's see what the chat thinks on that. Thanks for the $20 super chat over on the Rumble machine. And again, I think I did already hit the button for you as well, New Age, on this one, right? The booty signing. Yes. Okay. Booty signing. Appreciate the grind. Thanks for both of these $20 super chats from Hammer and New Age. New Age, you're a monster. Appreciate you being in here. I'm glad to see you in here more often, New Age. I know you took a little bit of I don't want to say a hiatus, but we're glad to have you back. Appreciate both you guys dropping that. Ron, do you think that's a doable? Is that acceptable to you?
I think so. I think everybody will go with it. And plus, it's I mean, I haven't been around as much lately because I've been, life has done that. But I mean, in the past, I've always promoted stuff and always wanted to do this stuff, this type of things, like the 24-hour live stream one that we did.
Yeah,
we put that. What was it like?
It was $100
or whatever.
Yeah. So, and I might do this again someday. I'm getting older.
They're hard to do.
My old age, it's not the same thing as it used to be. But like what we did is if we hit $100, we go one other hour, and we try and go 24 hours. If we hit $100, we go one more hour, and we did that, and it worked really well. Honestly, I think this is maybe it's not doable, and that's fine. Like you're saying, like what would be worth to just stay alive for 3 hours? That means I'm going to get food. I got to bring it in. Like there's a whole big long thing that goes on for that.
Right.
But I would say
it's a pain in the butt for you. So it's got to be worth your while.
I would say let's try this $100, and it can't be like adding. I think I'm going to set this goal here. It can't be adding things like if this person did 25, because there's a lot of super chats that happen during that show. I'm not going to add up that stuff and try and combine it all. But if there is a $100 super chat times 5 separate, it could be somebody could do it twice. It doesn't have to be like individual people, but $25 or $100 5 different times we stay live during the entire time. I think it's reasonable, because if I was to say like $100 once, then it's not quite. I mean, not to sound like greed, like I'm so appreciative of everything. It's just that is a 3 hour window of time, that gets.
What about like, okay, I know you said $100, but not everybody can just flop down $100 right now, but people can do like 50, make it 50 and 100. Those are easy to count up.
Yeah. Let me think about it. I think I like the ring of 100 5 times is really easy to keep track of. Not that the 50s wouldn't, but then you're like trying to add up 10, and then
but you have more people that will probably be able to give.
I hear you.
You're not pricing somebody out from giving.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have your normal people anyways giving.
Let's try it.
20 or
100
10 or whatever.
maybe we'll do that week 2 if it doesn't work. But let's try 100 times 5. If it happens, we go live. If it happens, and again,
Okay.
it's
That
not
sounds good.
it's not something that can be done in advance. Just so you guys know, I'm not. It's just going to be a strict rule on that. Nothing can. You can't drop it 2 nights prior, the night prior. It has to be on that morning show. I just making that like abundantly clear up front, just so we make sure we don't have, because otherwise we start borrowing from other shows and it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, let's try it. I think that is something that, like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And I'm like, okay, I got this time back. I'm going to do this. I got to work on the website constantly on the fantasyfootballshow.com. There's a lot I got to do. So it does make sense that I make it kind of a lofty one versus spreading it out and then it always landing. Yeah, let's see. Let's try it. I like that. It's a good challenge, Ron. I like this. This is pretty good.
Yeah, I like doing challenges to you and people. So,
and it's a challenge. It's not
Everybody.
supposed to be a lock.
It's a challenge.
You know, maybe it doesn't happen, but let's try it. 100 times 5. I'll let Miss Smitty know I might be out of the office again. Or when I say out of the office, I mean out of the family for a 3-hour block, a 3-hour tour. Another super chat in the Rumble world. Thank you for the additional super chat. Hammer dropping yet another one. Hammer says, what does he say here? He says 1K, $50 super chat. Thank you, Hammer. He says 1K. I think I'm going to do the 500. I think I want it to be doable, but I appreciate your belief in me being able to get that. But I'd say the 5. What would be the way to word this? The 5 times 100. It's a good challenge there, Ron. I like it.
5 for 5 to go for 5 for live.
5 for live.
5 for live.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was trying to think of some way to spin it. Yeah, 5 for live. 5 for live.
Yep,
$100.
5 for live.
I mean, look, we might be surprised at how many times it happens. We might be surprised how many times it doesn't. I don't know. You might be right. It might be slightly above where it happens, but that's okay. I think it's a challenge for a reason. You know, because if it didn't happen every time, and it might, but it'd be like, you know, everybody be like, "Come on, do it," and then it doesn't happen. Then again, the next, you know, it's a nice surprise. So we'll see how it is.
Well, I think it would be cool. I think it would be cool to be able to talk about all the games. You'd be in live and be able to talk about things as they happen.
Yeah.
Get your reaction, get everybody's reaction live. I think that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, it is fun. And by the way, I'm redoing this other room. It probably won't be done until after the season, but I'll have a total man cave environment camera switch where I can go into this room next to me that we're doing some moving around of things, and so I'm going to expand my studio area into this other room as well. So there'll probably be 2027 for it to be in effect, unfortunately. But what will be sweet in 2027 is I'll be able to be like, okay, we're switching cameras into this other room, and my studio is going to be 2 rooms. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool. And this other room is going to be more of a like couch podcast type environment. And so there'll be multiple TVs and I'll be sitting there. And so I will, in 2027, be even more of a reason to run this back. And then it'll be a much more enjoyable, like, you know, change of scenery type of environment, you know. So it'll be fun. Let me answer these real quick, then get to rock out. So thank you, Ron. It's a good suggestion. I appreciate you thinking about the show all the time. Thanks for all you do.
Yep.
But Lamb is going to be number 1 over Pickens. I always love when people say but. Love what you do, but. Love what you do, but. I don't agree. Like, he could be over Pickens. I don't disagree. I don't know if you heard me say take Lamb to the other guy that had that question. So I love both of them. But I just think Pickens is, if I had to say cost of entry, second round Pickens is better than first round Lamb, even though one could outscore the other. Going to be number 1 over Pickens, and Ladd will beat out Ibuka. Possible. I mean, you're talking about 4 players I love, bro. So it's not that shocking. And honestly, I'm rotational on it. So I think you're misunderstanding my evaluation on those 4 players. But thank you very much for the super chat. And I agree with you that it could go those directions. How are you using your website rankings for a 2-flex PPR draft? Best player available. trying to draft closer to ADP, I'm drafting the best player available, and part of that is thinking about what your league mates are doing, who's going to be available. How required 3 wide receivers versus 2 will make you draft RB or not draft RB more. I draft RB more. Like, I'm more prone to go RB in a 10-man, 2 wide receiver mandatory, whereas I'm more willing to go balance and wanting to go balance in a 12-man, even 10, if it's 3 wide receiver required. So that but best player available is ultimately what you lean. And I can't emphasize enough that I think the best approach possible is to come out with balance, if possible, like getting that Achane and AJB or Achane and Pickens or Lamb and Walker. In that case, like I described earlier, that the other super chatter didn't seem to think I loved Lamb. Those combinations are a little bit better than going RB, than scraping the final potential wide receiver ones out of the barrel and trying to piecemeal a wide receiver 1 and 2 together. And whereas ETN is closer to Walker and Chase Brown and those guys than people think. And so ETN at the end of 4 is fantastic. Jersey says, sorry, I have Garrett Wilson and Monty. Meant to ask, who should I be trying to get for both of those pieces? It's a 2-flex team. It's CMC, Hampton, AJ Brown, Monty, Waddle, DJ Moore, looking to upgrade. Okay, so you wanted to trade Garrett Wilson and Monty. Sorry, Jersey. Garrett Wilson and Monty could get you Jeremiah Love. It could get you maybe Pickens. It could get you maybe a McBride, who's your tight end at Bowers. You don't need that. I mean, Monty and Garrett Wilson should be able to get you a Nabers, Pickens. I mean, even Nico's in the cards, but Nico's a little closer to Garrett Wilson to really want to do that, I suppose. But I would be okay with it. I think, Olave's a hard player to judge right now. He kind of goes in that territory. But I'd rather just shoot for Pickens, AJB. Rice is even an entertaining option, but it's high risk. But Jeremiah Love would be outstanding. Chase Brown would be outstanding. Those would all be options. Jeanty right now injured. I mean, you could even throw in a little more and try and get Jeanty somehow. So Monty, Garrett Wilson trying to get Jeanty, I definitely would be interested in that. Oh, you already have Love right here, so ignore that. But Waddle, I'd even get Waddle involved to make it a 3-for-2 and go after like a Jeanty and something. I think that might be your best bet. Get it confusing to make this person give up Jeanty and something to make it better value for you, and then give up Waddle maybe. Unless you love Waddle, I just think he's good to trade. 12-team, 0.5 PPR, 2-flex round. Gibbs, Jeanty, AJB. See, this is where when you go RB from this 1 pick or from the 4 pick or from the 6 pick, it's amazing because you're, especially at 1, you got back-to-back picks, so you can take a receiver and running back-to-back. But Jeanty, AJB, Gibbs, that's crazy. To get Jeanty to fall, I'm relishing and drooling over the idea of being able to land mother freaking Gibbs and Jeanty together on a team with AJB or Pickens or whatever. I haven't been able to do it yet, but I'm hoping that Jeanty concern drops him. This is a great team, bro. Fantastic squad. What are my thoughts? I'm sitting on this. I don't think there's much to do. Buka, you don't want to sell low. I'm not selling any of your other players in the top 5 rounds. Burden can't sell low. Evans can't sell low. Hendy can't sell low. Brooks is climbing but can't sell low. Very much a wait and see. Unless you can get rid of Caleb and Brooks, or Caleb and Evans, or Caleb and Burden. And that's all I'd even look at. That's the only thing I'd look at to get a better, stronger top 3 quarterback. And I would do that. That's the only thing I'm considering right here. In Superflex Dynasty, 0.5 PPR, Penix, Lloyd, or Mike, or Malik. Is that Malik Davis? Who is that? On waivers. Depends. If you've got no QB2, you got to take Penix probably. But I think I'd rather have Lloyd. Lloyd's got some good trade value, and I think he eventually starts some games. And I think that was the final super chat. I think we're caught up. Thank you all for those super chats. Any others will get answered in order in which you received. Again, thank you over on Rumble, to New Age, to Hammer, dropping those, and New Age for the gifted membership in 420. Appreciate you guys over on Rumble. We're at 22 point something K over on Rumble, so go follow us over there as well. Let me go over to Rock Out, then Chuck Nasty, then back to Ron Navy. Rock Out, you're live.
So, who's like your favorite running backs with a Chase build at number 2.
My favorite running back at what?
What's your favorite running backs with a Chase build?
A Chase build. Okay. So 1.2 Jamar Chase. It really is. If you end up getting Chase Brown to fall or Walker, you're thinking you're thinking you're lucky stars. But I don't think that you're probably going to get anything but Love, or maybe a shot at like Chase Brown or something. But it feels like you're going to have to take Love, and you can take Love at the 3.2 and then take a different player here. But Chase is hard to couple with an RB. Jeanty is your hope. If Jeanty were to fall and you could get Jeanty and let's say, Pickens or Rice or McBride. I mean, McBride, that would be good. That would be unbelievable right there. Chase, Jeanty, McBride. Oh my God. So it's Jeanty or Love. I don't know that there's a lot of options that are going to fall to you in the second round. That's why it is tough to not grab balance and to force Love in this spot, or at least this spot. I do feel like Love is falling to this 3-1, 3-2, 3-3 pretty easily right now. An underdog. I don't know about in other formats right now because of the reaction still like coming in,
And then sometimes at that 2, Pickens be falling there sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pickens and Jeanty and Chase would be unbelievable. Chase, Jeanty, McBride, unbelievable.
Or Neighbors.
Chase,
3.
Chase, Jeanty, Love, unbelievable. Chase, Jeanty, Neighbors, unbelievable. Chase, Neighbors, Love that. Neighbors, Pickens, McBride, Jeanty, Chase Brown if you're lucky. Those are the best picks there.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right, my boy. Appreciate you. Call in tonight, midnight,
cool.
later. Chuck Nasty, final thought from you.
Yeah, I would just say, going back to Ron's point, and again earlier, and kind of theme of today, just incompetency with the Browns. What a ridiculous hire the Monken was. You know what situation you're in as an organization. You know what team you are. You know you're not going to compete. The only reason why you would even play, the only reason why they're playing Watson is because of the guaranteed money. And I'm biased because, I'm a CU fan. But I think he's outplayed Watson at every corner, and he should be playing this year. And it's incompetent to not see what you have in Shedeur this year before going into a loaded draft class where you're going to have a top probably 5 pick with quarterbacks. It just makes no sense to me. It's completely just just amusing. It's hilarious. And even the worst is they picked Gabriel last year in the 3rd round. People forget that, and he's a no factor. It's just complete incompetency. What a joke. Sorry, just want to kind of add on to what Ron and Rocco were saying.
All right, appreciate you, Chuck. We'll see you at midnight.
See ya.
Later, bro. Luis, thank you. 7 hours a day at this rate. Keep it camera rolling. Thank you, Luis. We were live like it was and thank you who just dropped this. Savage, appreciate you. Savage says, I haven't seen anyone do what Smitty does. It's impressive. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. So the show is if I'm in a padded room right now, it wouldn't shock me if there's actually no one listening. And I always say that as a joke, but it makes sense though, right? If I was sitting there and the meds were wearing off and all of a sudden I look up and it's like Spaceman and the Moon Man, the Mars Man. And I'm like, wait a minute. None of that was real? It doesn't seem real in hindsight, actually. Spaceman, Moon Man, football. What was I doing with all that? Cowboys to Saturn, says Justin. Ron, do you think the Cowboys have a shot at winning the division? Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, this is could be a mess of a division or a great division. Anybody that thinks these Eagle fans that think that no matter what, we're just the best ever, like, be objective. There's a lot of concern with what's going on in Philly right now. Shifting to a 2 wide receiver set offense. Hurts look like trash. No one's on the same page. You lose AJB. You got a new offensive coordinator. You don't know how that's going to go. You don't know how it's going to work. You have no signs of greatness yet with this new system. And you could say, well, everybody's hurt. Well, it doesn't matter. You still have no signs of it. Washington, JD5's got to stay healthy. There's setup disappointment there. The Giants have, Greg Roman and Nagy running their offense, so let's not pretend like that doesn't have problems. Cowboys could be the division winner, and on top of that, I think they could win multiple playoff games. I think they have a real good shot.
I agree. I think Prescott gets underrated a lot. If you look at his stats, he leads on a lot of stats year after year. His big thing is the playoffs, kind of like what Cousins was,
right.
in the big game. With Pickens and Lamb and that, and plus their defense got stronger too. I think they got a legit chance. It should be great for especially for fantasy people. I think they put up huge fantasy numbers.
I can't win these, but I do put some up when I feel strongly about a point. And I think Dallas wins the division. And I can't win this. This is just me being a part of the predictions. Dallas wins division and wins at least one playoff game. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. I'm looking at the division. I like JD5 a lot, of course, but I wouldn't shock me if they're vying for a wild card spot. And playing like a good team. But Blau first time. How's that going to work? Play calling and everything like that. So I just think Dallas. The other part that people aren't understanding is that Joe Milton is about as safe as it gets. Like Milroe, like Mac Jones, like Flacco, there are several quarterbacks in this league that bring that. I don't think Flacco as much because you're probably not winning playoff games and playing just as well with Joe Burrow. But I believe that Milroe is actually better than Sam Darnold, and Milroe could be a stud in this league. Not good, not pretty solid. He could be a top 10 quarterback in this league. Milton in fantasy, if you want to argue whatever, in fantasy could be a top 10 quarterback in this league. And then Mac Jones could be the difference is these guys right here could take these teams pretty far if they get in there. And people don't like this, that's fine. They don't agree with it. I don't care. Like, this is my assessment, and I'm telling you, Flacco's older. Staying healthy is also a problem, but he does good fantasy-wise if he gets in there. But this right here, these are the safest backup quarterbacks in the National Football League. Dare I say, maybe Beck is also in the mix too. Beck is kind of exciting. So these are guys, you want to keep in mind when you look at a team like the Dallas Cowboys and you say, okay, how safe is Lamb? How safe is Pickens if Dak were to get hurt? Pretty safe. Pretty damn safe. I'm telling you that right now. Anyway, Ron, anything else? Appreciate your suggestion.
Surprise a lot of people too. If he gets in there, Mendoza look good in his preseason. So
Purple John wouldn't know
an
that.
Opportunity to play.
Yeah, Purple John wouldn't know that. He got hung up on because he goes, okay, so are we worried about Mendoza now? It's like, why are you saying that? What? Because he threw an interception? Like, what would make you run away from Fernando Mendoza, the Fernastronaut, the Moondozinator? What would make you think that the Moondoza wasn't, on a shuttle strapped in going to at least the moon or at least the space station? I mean, like, his situation looks great. He's being mentored by Tom Brady. He's got Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty and Mike Washington. Just a great arsenal of weaponry that's focused for his skill set and what he does. Maybe Mendoza's never top 5 or 6 fantasy-wise. Not trying to suggest he will be, but such a facilitator in chief. In a way, kind of like, Troy Aikman was not, the guy. I'm not trying to, go back in time and just say he'll be this, but the way Troy Aikman was an amazing quarterback and not the best fantasy quarterback, and I'm not saying Mendoza can't be a good fantasy quarterback. I'm just saying in this system with Bowers and Jeanty and the way that it's going to be operating, Sam Darnold was good, but Sam Darnold wasn't elite. And so Mendoza might just be so efficient, so amazing, such a winner, but maybe not producing top 5 QB numbers on the regular, but still so good for Bowers and Jeanty in the situation. So love them.
Yeah, I think, and what everybody forgets is there's no quarterback out there that don't throw interceptions. And you get these young quarterbacks, and they're like Shador and Mendoza and them. They got to go through a learning curve. I mean, they're going to get in there. They're going to have moments where they look awesome, and they're going to have moments where they like, where they throw that pass for? They got to go through it though, because it's part of learning the position. And they're going to go in there. That's the only way to learn is to play.
Yeah. All right, Ron. We'll see you at 8 p.m. Or I'm sorry,
All right,
at 8
we'll
p.m.
talk to you
Midnight.
later.
A little bit after midnight tonight. All right, later, bro.
All right, later.
We are out of here, I think. What is your favorite draft spot in a 12-man league? 1. I mean, what's my second favorite? 2. What's my third favorite? 3, 4, 5, 6. Honestly, even 7. I think once you get to like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you could kind of maybe mix it around potentially, but I still think I want to be closer to the middle. And the answer is always going to be, in 25 years of doing this professionally, my answer has only been not one or 2 times. I forget if it was 2 or 1, but it's always going to, almost always, 99% of the time, 99 times out of 100, it's going to be, the answer is going to be pick 1. And then it's going to be pick 2. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Number 1 reason is that you have the highest third drafted player out of everybody, because you get that 2-3 turn. So the quality drop off is always severe at the 25, 26, 27, 28. And it is like you're getting that monster. You're getting somebody that's a second rounder with your second rounder to go with your number 1 overall player. Like, it's just, for anybody to say that 1 is not the best pick in fantasy, laughable. So the answer is, it's 1. It's not 12. People that say 12 are people that want other people to make decisions for them. Like, hey, I want you to draft for me. Just give me whoever's left. That's a person that likes to draft at 12. Which is okay, but no thanks. Come on now. Give us 2 playoff wins. Parker going to turn around and make America great again. Come on. Give us 2 playoff wins. Parker's going to... What do you mean, bro? What am I saying that you don't like? I don't know if somebody else said something about, if you're talking about the Jaguars and Parker Washington, I'm not sure. But I didn't say anything negatively about Parker Washington or the Jaguars. Dynasty 12-man Superflex. Thank you for the super chat, though. I drafted Price of 1.3. My running backs are Hall, Tootin, Judkins, Mason. I drafted 7 wide receivers out of the first, dribbling 3.7. Did I reach on Price? 1.3 in a dynasty rookie draft? I'm not following. You said you drafted 12-man Superflex. I drafted Price 1.3. I'm assuming you mean in your rookie draft. And no, that's not a reach. I think you could take him 2 in a rookie draft. I love him, bro. I no way are you reaching. Okay, Parker, Smitty doesn't know the DC. No, I do know the DC. I thought you were talking about Parker Washington. EM42. You guys say Parker all the time. You say things all the time. I can't know what everybody's saying all the time, my boy. But nice try. I just got Chase, Nabers, Pickens, my first 3 picks on a puppy. Chase, Nabers, Pickens. That's unbelievable. But what are you going to get at RB, Wild Bill? I'd love to hear what the rest of the team is. No, I know the defensive coordinator. He said Parker. I don't know what he's talking about at that time. I have no idea what he's saying. You try reading all these messages over and over. Nice try, though, again. But no. The answer is no. Dallas wins their division. I believe so. That's what I'm predicting. Okay, I'll see you all at 8 p.m. or midnight Eastern. Appreciate every single one of you. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live whenever big news breaks and live at midnight Eastern, almost every single night, we're like going on like 200 straight days of being live at midnight Eastern. Deuce. Christian Parker. I know TM. I know who the defensive coordinator is. He just said Parker. I don't know what's so hard for you to understand. Good show. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you. Blackbeard in the building. My boy. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, everybody that dropped super chat. See you at midnight Eastern. Appreciate every single one of you.
Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Jeanty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Jeanty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks.
Once upon a time, Trey McBride saw 2 quarterbacks cross streams.
There are 2 5s?
They're gonna cross streams.
He worked effortlessly trying to accomplish this feat on his own. Then, one day, he crossed his 4th and 5th round average draft position. And then, this occurred.
Remember when McBride was the 4th to 5th round pick?
Get McBride.
Bro was the 4th to 5th round turn pick when we called him. When we called his rise, the 4th to 5th round turn pick. That's crazy. All right, see you all at midnight Eastern. Appreciate every single one of you. Deuce.